versus the run game.
Get you out here on this. The players we talked to a few moments ago in the player profiles, you could tell there's a little something when Coppell is the opponent.
Well, you know, Coppell is a big game. They've had a good football team over the last several years. I know since 2001, I don't forget the first time they came to Dragon Stadium. I remember that game. I was at that game. I don't forget the night we were up here in '09, I think it was, when they stormed the field. You know, Coppell knows that we're a big game for them. But you know what? We want to be a big game for them. And we want to be a big game tonight, and we want to be at our best, and that's all we ever ask of our team. Go out and do your job and be the best football player, the best football team that you can be tonight, because I do know this, Chuck, the team that plays the best 100% of the time will win.
Thanks for the time, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Look forward to it, Chuck. Thank you.
That is Hal Watson, the head coach of the Carroll Dragons.
The district opener ready to start from Coppell. Welcome to Dragon Football, presented by Freeman Toyota, as tonight the Dragons take on the Coppell Cowboys. Chuck Kelly, Kelly Milligan, Travis Smith, hope you enjoyed the Tommy Pennington Realty Group countdown to kickoff. The Dragons will kick off to start the football game. Coppell is going to have it first, moving from south to north, that is left to right. Quickly, let's meet the officials for today's game, brought to you by Clearview Eye Care and Laser Center.
Rob Jasper, referee, Antigua.
Philip Benjamin Jr., umpire, Waxahachie.
Dustin Farmer, headlinesman, Grapevine.
Jeremy Hill, line judge, Fort Worth.
John Buckley, back judge, Lantana.
Dragons in the traveling white uniforms with the green numerals and black trim, the white headgear with the iconic dragon emblem on the side. Coppell in the home red uniform tops, white pants, white headgear with the black star and the interlocking CC on the side of the helmet. Again, the Dragons going right to left, that is north to south. We'll give you the Berkey's game time weather conditions here in just a moment, but we're ready to get this one started as Jake Oldroyd has it teed up at the 40-yard line. Joe Fex and Josh Fink standing back at the Coppell 5. We're set to open district play. It's a renewal of an old-time rivalry between the Dragons and the Coppell Cowboys. Ready to get it started. Oldroyd approaches, and we are underway from Coppell. A booming end-over-end kick is going to carry all the way through the back of the end zone, and Coppell is going to start 1st and 10 from its own 25-yard line. The game time weather conditions we mentioned, brought to you by Berkey's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. It is an absolutely beautiful night for football in Coppell. Right now it is setting at 80 degrees, and there is no chance of rain. Some light fluffy
Brandon
clouds,
Rice is starting.
As we look out beyond the west sidelines, and you can see it is a light breeze blowing out of the north about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Well, we'll give you the offense. Brady McBride,
Test,
the
1, 2,
sophomore,
3.
is starting at quarterback, and the starting running back is indeed Brandon Rice, who begins the ball game. Joe Fex, beg your pardon, as they hand it off, and Fex will get across the 25 out to the 29, 30, 31-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the first play as Robert Barnes made the tackle. So Joe Fex in the backfield, but Brandon Rice started at a slot receiver in that first position. So there are the cats out of the bag. Kelly, Coppell is playing Brandon Rice tonight.
And they want to get him a little experience in space early, get him used to the action.
On 2nd down and 4, a handoff straight up the middle to Joe Fex, and he will get out across the 30 to the 35-yard line. Good for a first down to the 36. The tackle made by Robert Barnes. The starting lineups for Coppell, brought to you by Mustang Elite Car Wash. It's Brady McBride, the sophomore at quarterback. He's thrown for 849 yards and 11 touchdowns. He has not been intercepted. Joe Fex in the backfield, a 5'10", 190-pound junior. He's been good this year, almost 500 yards rushing. And again, we'll see Brandon Rice in as well, so they'll hand it to Fex on 1st and 10. He has 5, he has 10, and a first down across the 45,
11.
Out to the 47-yard line. It's a gain of 11 before Barnes and Grant McFarland combine on the stop. The receiving corps for Coppell is T.J. McDaniel. He's a freshman, 5'11". It is Josh Fink. Watch him, the ex-receiver. He is all everything, 6-foot senior who's gathered in 627 yards, 9 touchdown catches already this year. Drew Smith and Gerald McGill in the lineup, in for the injured Obi Abialo, as on 1st down and 10, a swing pass in the left flat, 2 tackles missed as Brandon Rice has it in space to the Carroll 45-yard line, gets down to the 42, and Barrett Buck combining with Grant McFarland and Ivy Seacat on the tackle,
11.
But that'll be an 11-yard gain and another first down. The rest of the Coppell offense, Dylan Galloway, Jacob Garcia, Matt Rockefeller, Cooper Godwin, and Ozuma Osuji. The right tackle, from left tackle to right tackle across across the front for the Coppell Cowboys. On 1st and 10, they'll give it to Joe Fax, and immediately he is knocked down for no gain on the play, met right in the middle of the line by Ivy Seacat, tied for the team lead in tackles with Robert Barnes with help from Grant McFarland. A pair of seniors on the tackle, pair of captains for the Dragon defense. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Early going, this Coppell offense looking to establish the ground game. They're throwing a lot more this year, but they can definitely run the ball, and you're seeing what they are able to do here in the early going.
Here's an inside give, goes to Joe Fex on 2nd and 10, and he'll have short yardage as he goes right into the middle of the line. He crosses inside the 41 down to the 40. He's got a gain of 3 yards to that point before Grant Phelps, the junior Mike linebacker, on the tackle for the Dragons. This will bring up the first 3rd down of the game so far for Coppell. We've played 2 minutes and 25 seconds, still no score. From the 40-yard line, 3rd down and 8. Snap it to McBride, rolls out to his right, throws upfield, passes caught. That's Josh Fink, inside double coverage, and he gets to the 25, down to the 23, but there's a marker back near the line of scrimmage. Buck made that tackle on Fink. It would be 16 yards if it stands. However, the call is going to be against Coppell, and that's going to bring that football back and negate the 1st down.
And also negate a really nice catch by Fink. Ball thrown into double coverage. It really looked like Buck was going to be in position for the interception. Shifted the body by Fink at the last minute, and he makes the catch.
Dust Famous Wings brings you sideline updates tonight. Here's Travis.
Well, running back Brandon Rice for the Cowboys lines up in the slot so far every play on this series. He takes 1 step back, turns, looks for the screen pass. On the very last play, he actually did a 5-yard out, but he's not really doing too much to, I guess, to strain that leg. They're keeping it very close to the vest.
3rd down and 13 after a very costly penalty. Again, it erases the 1st down as they line up 1 receiver short side left, 2 wide to the right, and snap it to McBride. 2-step drop is going to fire deep, one-on-one coverage, and it is going to be incomplete down to the 5-yard line as Obi Ebo battling Josh Fink. And Ebo won that battle, although it looked like he might have had a little bit of the jersey of Josh Fink, Kelly.
Yeah, we'll pretend we didn't see that, but that was a D1 move with the hands. Fink breaking to the inside on the post. Obi Ebo just gets a hand up at the last minute. That was beautifully played, and now that Cowboy offense is going to have to give it to Carroll.
If you're watching here in the stadium, just keep your eyes on that battle number 8 for Coppell, Fink, and 20 Obi Ebo, the Texas for Carroll, because that is going to be a heavyweight battle all night long. Rodriguez and is going to pass it away. He hits it from his 45-yard and angle toward the lines and go out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. In fact, that's exactly where they're going to. No, now he moves a little bit more, and they're going to put it down at the 59, we think, and that's a 60-yard punt. So the best by Rodriguez. Here comes Carroll's offense out. 8:58 to go, opening quarter, and Mason, the junior, who's 898 yards and 11 touchdowns, 1 interception, ready to call 1st and 10. Lines up 3 receivers to the right and has free in the smoke screen set up to Coleman over on the left side. He'll make the yardage of a couple to the 30 as TJ McDaniel, the freshman quarterback, making the stop for the Cowboys. Holmes, the quarterback, the Dragons, with a little Jordan Humphrey, the running back, actually more receiving yards here. That one set up a wing to the right and now flood out in the right wing. Pull the ball overhand out to El. Will take it at the 20 and stop right at the 30. So that's going to be no gain. The strong side backer on the tackle for the Cowboys. So it is Holmes the quarterback with Mark Coleman, Jack Johansson, and Cam outfit line. Tribble, Cam Young, Anton Edgar, Sanford, and Carson. The starting lineups brought to you by Elite Car Wash as we get play stop right before the snap of the football and wants timeout. We'll opening quarter, no score. Dragon football presented by Freeman Toyota continues in a moment. The 30-yard line, 9 for the Dragons as they put the pattern protection for Holmes. Steps up, gets away from it, rolls out to his left. He has heavy pressure back at the 20. He's hit and he's sacked. That's a loss of 10 yards on as Tyler Bell, the middle linebacker, in to finish it off. He was the first one in there, and it's a lines up loss of 9 for the drive. Carroll going backwards. First time it touched the football. It'll be 4th down and 19. They'll have to punt.
Coppell secondary had a little bit to do with that. Nobody. He did his best to evade the pressure, but he was just moving right left. Coppell defense able to get past the offensive line and and pressure him in a negative play. Not something you want.
Jake Oldroyd standing at his 5-yard line. The line of scrimmage is the 20. No score, 7:20 to go here in the first quarter. Good waist-high snap and a high booming spiral turns over all the way down to the Coppell 28-yard line. A 52-yard punt as it's Fink that feels it, comes back to the 35, gets to the 40, and it'll be stopped there. An 11-yard return. Grant Phelps on the tackle, and that will be where Coppell will take over the football for its second offensive possession. No score, 7:07 to go here in the first period. On 1st and 10, a handoff from the Coppell 39-yard line goes to Joe Fex. That's F-E-X, and he will get 5 yards out to the 44. He's got 6 carries in the game for 30 yards early as Barnes and Seacat combine on that tackle for the Dragons.
Nice run by Fex. He takes it to the right side, and it looks like he has hit right at the line of scrimmage. Just keeps the legs moving, gets low, and squirts through the tackle and turns it into a nice first down play.
Jackson Davis, the junior, has joined the Dragon defense. He's now over at the right quarterback position as they'll snap to McBride, and he rolls out to his left. Heavy pressure coming. He's hit, almost dropped, hit again, and this time he goes down back at the 37-yard line. Heavy penetration. Jackson Cantor, the junior left end, finished him off. That's his second sack of the year. Phelps is the one that had a beat on him, but Cantor finishing it off, and a loss of 6 on the play.
Well, that started with a little bit of a high snap, and as a result, when he comes down with the ball, McBride is not in balance. He can't get his body moving the direction he wants to. He's already behind the 8 ball when the pressure gets to it.
So now a behind-the-chain situation for Coppell. 3rd down and 11 from the 38-yard line. Receiver either side, snap to McBride. Going to throw the slant over the middle, and it's incomplete. It was intended for Drew Smith, the tight end. The big 6'2 senior couldn't haul it in. Barrett Buck in the coverage for the Dragons, and Coppell again will be forced to punt.
Smith comes on a little flag route, and he's open. He's got about 2 steps away from him as the nearest Dragon defender, but the ball thrown a little low. The only issue really with Grady McBride has been accuracy under pressure. He had time to throw that ball, but he unloaded it low, and now you got a 3 and out.
Well, this is the 3rd punt of the game. The first one was just a little over 3 minutes ago. Right now, 5:55 and the clock resting. Here in the first quarter is a flag before the snap to the punt. They may have taken too long, as we'll wait for the indication, which, as we recall, coming to Coppell is very unusual in that they report the fouls to the opposing side. That is the new press box. This used to be the home press box, which is now the visitor side. All the Dragon fans in front of us, but over across the way now is the designated home press box, and that's where they point the delay call to, as the punt from Rodriguez is going to be fielded and then fumbled at the Dragon 30-yard line. A loose football at the 33, beg your pardon. Still scrambling, and Coppell has come up with it. Lil Jordan Humphrey, the 3rd return man this year for the Dragons, becomes the 3rd to cough up a football, and Coppell gets a huge break early as Sam Wu comes up with it, and with 5:43 to go in the first quarter, Coppell has the football.
Bad break for the Dragons. You forced a 3 and out, and the defense has looked good. Your normally sure-handed running back receiver cannot hang on to the punt. Now you've given this Coppell offense a short field and a chance to maybe build a little confidence here early.
Well, the Dragons now go to -2 in the turnover ratio. That's been something they've been battling to get above the C-level mark, but that will be a bad mark on that particular category as they go to a 2-back set with Rice and Fex in the backfield. They give it to Rice, and he will dance his way across the 30 inside to the 25 into the 24, a gain of 8. As Brandon Rice, the 5'10 senior who has been out with that broken leg, seeing his first action of the year as that stop made by Doddridge, but you see his elusiveness and his jump as he has on that first carry.
Yeah, using the cuts that he does not look like a guy coming off of a broken leg. That looked pretty healthy.
2nd down and 2 from the Dragon 24, handed to Rice. Big running room, 20, 15, 10. He's heading toward the end zone. He's in for the score. 24 yards on the burst by Brandon Rice, and with 5:11 to go in the first quarter, the Cowboys strike first. It's 6-0 Coppell.
Just a very simple play, kind of going between guard and tackle on the right side. Godwin and Osuji over there. He makes one little cut, and then it's just a matter of outracing angles. Very nice run by Brandon Rice.
Point after, brought to you by County Commissioner Gary Fickus. Bernardo Rodriguez on for the PAT. And again, this has been somewhat of a mystery for Coppell to find a reliable kicker. Kevin Madigan and Tyler Smith have each had their shot this year, but now it's Rodriguez who kicked last year but suffered fractured knee in the off season, but he's back on now, and the PAT is up, and it's good. 5:11 to go in the opening quarter. Our new scorer, Carroll, trailing Coppell 7-0. Coppell, and the kickoff fielded with a fair catch at the Dragon 26-yard line. That's where Carroll will go to work, 1st and 10, as the first down snap goes to the quarterback Mason Holmes, and he'll hand it to Jordan Humphrey, and he will be stopped for really no gain on the play. Matter of fact, might have lost a yard as he stopped at the 26-yard line. A tackle made by Cody Masters, strong side linebacker of this Coppell defense. The scoring drive a moment ago, 2 plays, 32 yards, took 32 seconds, a 24-yard burst by Brandon Rice, so he is back in the game and ready to go for the Coppell Cowboys as we see what a difference he makes to that offense on that opening score. Here's Holmes looking to throw on 2nd down, deep over the middle, and it's incomplete, looking for Farrar. He was crossing in front of double coverage, but Kyron Jamison was the guy that was going step for step with him. Right now, the total yards, Kelly, with 4:37 to go in the first quarter for Coppell, 71 yards. For Carroll, -10.
And for as much as this offense has opened up in Coppell, they're doing a lot of it on the ground. They'll throw the ball a little bit with that running back tandem in play. They're able to pound it, and they did very well on that last possession.
3rd down and 11 from the 26-yard line. The Dragons trailing for the first time in 3 games, down 7-0 here early after the turnover. Have the ball for their own 26-yard line. Sidelines to the right, open field to the left, showing a blitz off the edge, picked up by the blocking back. As the throw upfield incomplete. A high throw from Mason Holmes, put a little bit too much on it, looking for Farrar. Kyron Jamison again in the coverage. That'll bring up 4th down, and the Dragon offense will have to give it away.
So in both of those pass plays, 2nd down and 3rd down, as you mentioned, Holmes just a little bit high. On 2nd down, he's got Farrar open on a box route, even with double coverage. Ball was catchable, but just a little too high. Farrar had to go up for it. That 3rd down pass over by the sideline, even higher. So Holmes maybe needs to settle down and get the yips out.
Joe Fecks and Josh Fink back to receive the punt of Oldroyd, who bashed it 52 yards to the wind. His first time this one hits and bounces, is picked up at the 25-yard line by Josh Fink. He'll twist out to the 30 and is knocked down to the 32-yard line. A 48-yard punt, 5 on the return, and for the Dragons it was Eric Spidler and Jacob Murphy on the tackle. So Coppell will take over, 4:19 to go in the second quarter. Here we go, 1st down and 10 for Coppell from the 32-yard line, going left to right, breaking the line of scrimmage. Fecks crosses across the 35, gets out to the 40. That's going to be a gain of 8 of the middle. Grant McFarland on the tackle for the Dragons, but early on, this Coppell offense moving the football, Kelly.
Fecks impressive. He runs low and runs behind his pads. He beats contact and just squirts right past it.
Hand off again to Fecks. This time he'll go at right guard, and he'll get short yardage. Enough for the first down, though, as he crosses the 42. The line of scrimmage was the 40, so he'll get 3 yards out to the 43. Fecks now with 8 carries for 41 yards. We mentioned he came in with 486 on the year, so he's over the 500-yard mark. And he's got 2 touchdowns to his credit. McFarland on that last tackle for the Dragons.
3 yards at least.
Only 1 of his 8 carries so far in the game, Brian Sperry, our statistician, tells us have failed to go at least 3 yards. Here's a snap, kind of bobbled by McBride, and he'll hand it to Fecks, and he'll go straight ahead for a couple of yards from the 43 to the 45. So there's one, Kelly, that went less than 3, and he gets 2.
Probably helped a little by, again, sort of a high center snap. We've talked about that a couple of times here tonight, but it really is proving to be something of an issue. On that last series, 3 of the 4 snaps, Brady McBride had to go up to get him, and that obviously throws you off your rhythm and your timing.
1 receiver left, 2 slot to the right. Again, a high snap. Here's McBride rolling to his left, throws to the sideline. It's caught right at the Coppell bench by Trent Butcher, the senior ex-receiver, in front of Jackson Davis, who bumps him out of bounds to gain of 3 yards on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down for Coppell, so this is a chance for the Dragon defense to get off the field and get the offense back to work as we head to the late point here in the first quarter. 3:05 remaining in the opening period, with Coppell leading 7-0.
Yeah, Butcher, a guy that's gotten more playing time in the wake of the injury to Obi Obialo. They're finding ways to mix him into the offense. Nice little catch by the sideline there.
It's the first time they attempted a pass.
First time they've attempted a pass on 2nd down, and they will again on 3rd down as McBride goes deep into one-on-one coverage, and it's incomplete down at the 30-yard line as it was intended. It looks like for Pierce McFarland, the sophomore, who's running out there with junior Barrett Buck. The pass falls incomplete, and the Carroll defense, which all in all has done a good job in the ball game so far, forcing Coppell into another punt.
Yeah, key now is just ball security. Hang on to it, get your offense a chance to execute, run a few plays, and get into a little bit of a rhythm.
Bernardo Rodriguez standing back at his 34-yard line, gets a good snap, puts the right foot into it, a high kick into the breeze, going to be fair caught by little Jordan Humphrey at his 16-yard line, and the Dragons will have it with 2:52 to go in the first quarter.
35.
After a 35-yard punt, it's Coppell leading 7-0. First and 10 handoff from the Dragons' 17-yard line. We'll get a short gain out to about the 20. That was little Jordan Humphrey. Actually, the biggest gain of the game, Kelly, so far for the Dragons.
It's early.
Austin Hanson made that tackle. Second down and 7 from the 20. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Mason Holmes standing alongside Humphrey in the backfield. Here's the snap, has time, throws the slant, it's caught. Cam Duhan across the 30, gets to the 35 and to the 37-yard line. Largest gain of the game for the Dragons. That one goes for 18. They move the chains. Quickly, Dust Famous Wings update, Travis.
Well, with the wind at his back, they obviously need to take advantage of this, but I think that was the cause of a few of those overthrows.
From the 38-yard line, snap it to Holmes. Handoff Humphrey gets the edge. Turning left at the 45. Gets out near the first down at the 47 before he's knocked across the sideline by Josh Malumba. It's a gain of 9 yards, so bring up 2nd and 1. Clock stopped at 2:06. In the second quarter, Coppell leading 7-0. The Dragons with an early turnover. I said second quarter. Let me correct what I said. We're in the first quarter. But the Dragons with this possession out to the 47-yard line as they snap it to Holmes, and he'll give it to little Jordan Humphrey, who bangs at left tackle. He'll have the first down out to the 49, maybe give him the 50-yard line, but it will move the sticks. So 2:01 to go in the first quarter. Is that tackle made by A.J. Johnson, starting defensive end, along with Austin Hanson, who's playing at the nose guard spot for Coppell.
Coppell will rotate a lot of different guys through those front 3 positions. We'll talk about that later.
Here's a swing pass in the flat, right side, caught, but immediately Shamar Coleman tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. In fact, he is going to lose a yard back to the 48 and bring up 2nd down and 11.
And that's just ball placement. The ball was thrown to Johansson, or rather to Shamar Coleman, but Johansson is right there where the ball is, so you've got receiver colliding with blocker, and that turns a possible nice gain into a negative play.
2nd down, 11 Dragons from the 48-yard line, moving from right to left here in the first quarter. Snap it to Holmes, fires over the middle, incomplete again to Farrar, and again high, as really Holmes, we're surmising here with the wind blowing behind him at about 15 to 20 miles an hour, and probably some jitters in a big game like this too. He's just had a lot of oomph on the ball this evening.
Well, and Cody Masters coming at him probably had something to do with it too. The Coppell strong side linebacker applying pressure, and that'll incent you to get rid of it, and so he does burn it hot and high.
The 4th straight 3rd and long for the Dragons as it's 3rd and 11 from the 48. Coppell wants timeout. We'll break with them. 1:20 to go opening quarter. Cowboys 7 and the Dragons nothing. Out of timeout, 3rd down and 11 from the Dragon 48-yard line. The snap to Mason Holmes, and he throws deep over the middle. Pass is caught. Little Jordan Humphrey at the Coppell 30-yard line. It's a gain of 22 yards. Josh Malumba on the tackle for Coppell, but a nifty throw and catch from Holmes to Humphrey.
They made that look easy. Coppell shows blitz and then immediately backs deep into coverage. They want to try to keep it in front of them. Little Jordan coming on the flag route. Nice job catching that with coverage right on him.
They motion Humphrey out of the backfield and throw the pass down from the 30 near the 25-yard line. I'm not sure who the intended receiver was, because Cam Duhan, who was the closest Carroll receiver, was actually blocking a man downfield. The ball hit right behind him.
4 of 8
so
for 40.
Holmes 4 of 8 for 40 yards. Not his best percentage nor his best effort early on. He's normally a 68% passer, again with 11 touchdowns coming into the game, but the Dragons still trailing only 7-0 with the football. 2nd down and 10 at the 30-yard line. This is the 9th play of the drive for the Dragons. They'll put 2 receivers to either side, playing off the right side hash. Here's the snap to Holmes. Here comes a blitz, picked up nicely. Now here comes the pressure. He runs away to his left, toward the boundary, pumps once, now throws down to the 21-yard line. Shamar Coleman made the catch. And the Dragons, on a play that looked like was going to turn out really badly, turns out really well as Coleman gets his 24th reception. Oh, beg your pardon. They said it was incomplete, so forget about it. It'll bring it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I thought he had it too, but his back was to us, and you saw the official of the side judge signal incompletion. So Carroll now facing another 3rd and long, Chuck.
This is the 4th one. They've all
This
been
is
at
the
least
4th
3rd and 9.
3rd down and long. The Dragons have faced the game, and by long, I mean 9 yards or more.
That's
right
long.
Now. Yeah, it is. 3rd down and 10 from the 30. Coleman and Johansson in the backfield. They've got Humphrey lined up in a slot to the left. So 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Off the right side hash, here's the snap to Holmes, and a stoppage of play right at the snap, and Coppell just burned its 3rd timeout. 48 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Cowboys up 7-0. So this is something that you'll see Mike DeWitt, the coach of the Cowboys, do. That's use his timeouts on defense, and he does so right here. Coppell's out of timeouts. 48 seconds to go in the first quarter. Cowboys leading 7-0. The Dragons with a 3rd down and 10. Moving to the south end zone at our left is the snap to Mason Holmes. Backs up to the 40. He's going to throw deep over the middle, and the pass is going to be intercepted at the 6-yard line by T.J. McDaniel. Now, this kid has serious genes. He's a freshman, and you know his brother, Cam McDaniel, who played at Notre Dame, and of course Gavin also another standout running back here at Coppell. So the 3rd McDaniel in, and he pulled that football out of midair. Travis Smith with Doug's Famous Wings sideline update.
Well, the intended receiver was Lil Jordan Humphrey, but he had a collision with Malumba, who knocked him down to the ground. That's why the ball was well overthrown, because receiver was laying on the turf. Coaching staff over here really wanted that foul call, but to no avail.
So the Dragons still blanked on the scoreboard. 40 seconds to go in the first quarter as they'll start, the Cowboys will, with Fex and Rice both in the backfield. They snap it to the quarterback, McBride, and he's going to keep it around left end. Has room to the 15, to the 20, 25, still running left sideline to the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 20 yards, so they get out of the shadow of their goalpost as Barnes and Sales both on the tackle for the Dragons, and that was a nifty run by the sophomore.
Well, that's a nice play with the Carroll defense keying on the running backs. McBride moves pretty well, and people don't think about it. Keeps it off zone read, goes to the left side, hits the sideline.
First down and 10 for the 26. They put it in the belly of Rice. He has room. 5-10, first down across the 35, turns left 40. There's a marker down as he gets to the 50-yard line and kind of gingerly moves out of bounds at the 48-yard line in Dragon territory. It's a gain of 26 yards before McFarland bumped it out of bounds, but there is going to be a holding call against Coppell.
I'll tell you what, there had to be some explanation, or else that means the Carroll defense is just getting shredded. Rice does such a nice job making a cut to the right side of the offensive line and takes it back across the field.
Well, 7 yards of the carry will stand, and it's a spot foul, so they'll mark it back. Right around the 23 is where they'll put it down, so it'll be 1st and 13 as we've got 11 seconds to go here in the first quarter. If you're just tuning in, the Dragons with a turnover on a punt gave Coppell a short field, and Brandon Rice with a touchdown. The only points of the Cowboys leading the Dragons 7-0 here in the in Coppell. Holden Rupp in at a receiver position. In fact, all the clock was running now. It gets down to 4. Here comes the line judge from across the more time on the clock. It makes exactly what they do. As there was 7 seconds on the after the penalty was marked, and they moved down to 4, or at least running the clock was, but now they're going to put it back to 11. Okay, 4 plus 7 is 11. Maybe that's what it was. From the 3-yard line, first down and 10, for first down and 13. The running back, and he'll be hit. Get out to 27-yard line, 5 on the play, and the first quarter will come to an end as Jacob Doddridge, the sophomore, on that tackle to end the quarter for the Dragons. After one, Coppell 7 and Carroll ready to roll. Coppell, it's the Cowboys and the Carroll Dragons. Chuck Kelly, Kelly Milligan, from the sidelines. Happy to have you with us tonight. as rolling to throw is Pride on that second, and he throws upfield near the line, but it was intended for his favorite receiver, Josh Fink, as he bounced that one in. Time for this first quarter numbers brought to you by Also Orthopedics and Dr. Mark Green, one-stop shop for all orthopedic evaluation and procedures. Yardage in the first quarter, Coppell 118. That's 1 yard rushing, 18 passing, only 43 that open yards rushing, and 40 passing. First downs in favor of the Cowboys, 6-3. So after that incomplete pass, it'll bring up 3rd down and 9. The Dragon fans below us starting to make a lot of noise here, trying to urge the on as McBride has time, throws deep over the middle, a little midfield as Buck got in to receive Brandon Rice, but that was incidental contact as the ball pops free downfield, down around the 30 yard, bring up 4th down and 9. Coppell will be forced to punt.
Carroll defense doing its best to get a little bit of pressure on McBride. So far, Coppell offensive line kind of holding weak, and McBride, I think, do that a little sooner than he was ready to.
4th down. 9, ball marked at the 27 as Bernardo Rodriguez, who has the game for a 29-yard average, but this time with the win, he lifts this one high, wobbly kick across the 50, will get down into Dragon territory at the 35, and immediately it takes a Dragon bounce and is killed at the 39. That's a 34-yard punt as Mason Junker down to touch it down for Coppell, and the Dragons will take over the football, still looking for their first points in the game. As first down and 10, the handoff to Sherrod Coleman from the Dragon 39-yard line will get 3 yards to the 42, and that up of 3 before the tackle made by Frankie Morgan and Austin Hansen playing the front of that Coppell defense. And Kelly, you mentioned they got kind of like a 5-man rotation up front, keep everybody fresh.
They've been pretty effective trying to get pressure on Mason Holmes thus far tonight. They forced a few throws that were just out of his normal timing.
Humphrey comes out of the backfield. They throw the screen pass, sets up right, eludes a tackler at the 40-yard line. We'll have a little bit of yardage out to the 45, maybe the 46. Be a gain of about 4 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3 as Ryan Finglass, the middle linebacker, in on the stop along with Kyron Jamison, also Dylan Rainbolt for Coppell. So here is a 3rd down for the Dragons, 3rd and 4. Again, they flip the field. They're going into a breeze now from south to north. That is left to right. Dragons in the white road uniforms. Coppell in the red over white with the white headgear and the white numerals. It's the snap to Mason Holmes. Has 4 in the pattern all day to throw. Now a little pressure coming. They'll dump it out and throw it away to the sidelines. And heavy pressure was coming. Ryan Jones had to, or forced him to have to get rid of the football as the Dragons now 1 of 5 on 3rd down conversions, and the interception on the 3rd down play. Remember that 3rd down's coming into the game. They're converting 58%, but so far only 20% this evening.
Yeah, on that 3rd down play, Ryan Jones very tenacious. He shows blitz before the snap, but he just fights off his blocks and is able to force Holmes into an errant throw.
Dual safety. Fex and Fink standing back inside the 15-yard line, fielded by Fex, and he'll take it out across the 15 to the 20 and gets hit down at the 21, maybe the 22-yard line. So that is where Coppell will take over after a 44-yard punt, 10 on the return, and Jacob Doddridge was down on the tackle for the Dragons.
Carroll's had 4 possessions, 3 of them have
Carroll's
been 3
had
and
4 possessions so far in the game, by the way. 3 of those have been
3
and outs. So keep an eye next time that offense comes out. First and 10 handoff, big running room across the 30, gets out to the 35, to the 40, and to the 44-yard line goes Joe Fex. That's a 22-yard burst on a simple first down handoff. Jackson
69.
Davis on the tackle, 11 carries, 69 yards now for Joe Fex.
They talk about him reminding you of Cam McDaniel, and he did look a little like that on that run. He's not 4.3, but he's fast enough to find the hole and exploit it, and that was a very nice run.
Handoff to Brandon Rice from the 44-yard line. He'll get out to the 50. It's a gain of 6. They go with that 2-back set with both Fex and Rice. It's kind of a thunder and lightning punch back there as Seacat and Phelps combining on the stop. Coppell already 128 yards rushing against this Dragon defense. As they stay in the 2-back set, handed to Rice, looking for that acceleration. He has room inside the 40, gets to the 35, to the 30, and down at the 29-yard line. Barrett Buck again on the tackle for the Dragons. He's making way too many stops at a safety position. Gain of 22 and a Coppell first down.
Little wrinkle there out of the Coppell offense. They go some G series, only it's Dylan Galloway, the big senior tackle, pulling, and he blew open a hole for Rice at the point of attack.
So Carroll needs a timeout, and they will get it right here with 9:22 to go here in the first half of play. Our score, Coppell 7 and Carroll nothing. On 1st and 10, a pass play to Josh Fink. Gets inside the 5-yard line, down all the way to the 2. And Coppell, after a 26-yard pass play, all the way down to the goal line. 1st and goal at the 2-yard line, snapping to the quarterback. McBride will hand it to Fex, and he gets a yard, if that, as he stopped just inside the 2 by Jackson Cantor. So again, they hit the pass out of the timeout, Kelly, and now Coppell trying to get a 2-score lead.
So Fink getting, I think, his first reception on the night, but he does just such a great job of running routes and getting open. He found a little space and then created after the catch. Now Coppell just trying to pound it into the end zone.
They'll hand it off to Rice, trying to win a foot race around the right end, and he will dance into the end zone. Although there is a flag now behind the play. This could be coming back as he just kind of spaced toward the right side, looking for room. Did Rice using his speed, but somebody had a hold of a jersey, and it's going to be holding against Coppell, so negate the touchdown.
And that'll move the ball back a little bit, maybe give this Carroll defense a little bit of room to maneuver. But, yeah, hole open that big, you got to wonder if somebody didn't grab something they shouldn't have.
Well, you remember last year that there were some controversial calls the game in Southlake, and if you depending on who you talk to, depending on who more of those were on, Coppell felt that they really got the raw end of the stick. They had 3 scores called back that night, and went back and looked at it. 2 of them it was obvious to see, but the other might have been in question. Anyway, here we go back to play. It's 2nd down and goal to go. They're going to throw toward the end zone, and the pass is caught, and that's a touchdown as Brandon Rice out of the backfield beat Barrett Buck right at the pylon over on the left side. It's 12 yards and a Coppell touchdown, and the Cowboys lead it 13-0.
And that was nice, just a little corner route right there by the pylon. Rice makes the catch with coverage on him and falls over the goal line. So, yeah, fine. Push him back with a penalty. They'll just throw it over you.
So Bernardo Rodriguez out of the hold of Josh Fink to try to make it a 14-point game. High snap, ball on the tee. The kick is on the way, and it is good. Timeout on the field, 8:33 to go. First half of play. Our new score, Coppell 14 and Carroll nothing. 14-0 Coppell, 8:33 to go here in the first half. As the Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine kickoff from Tyler Smith with the wind is going to go down to the Dragon 5-yard line. It's fumbled by Shamar Coleman and goes out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Coleman fielded it at the 5, but it bounced to his left and went across the sideline at the 2. And the Dragons, if things weren't bad enough already, going to have to start 98 yards away with 8:31 to go here in the second quarter.
The kick was a knuckleball, hard for Coleman to handle. He was trying to move, I think, before he'd really wrapped it up. It squirted away and then bounces out of bounds at the 2. So a Carroll offense that's been struggling to find its timing is going to start in the shadow of its goalpost.
Well, the Dragons are starting 98 yards away. The bad news is they have only 49 yards total offense so far in all their offensive possessions. As on 1st down and 10 from the 2, they're going to hand it off on a straight running play to Jack Johansson, and he will knife across the 5-yard line out to the 7. So he'll get half the yardage necessary for the first down. Eric Loop on the tackle with Jonathan McGill. 2nd down and 5. The Dragons, again, right underneath their own goalpost, it looks like. As a scrimmage from just beyond the 6.5 near the 7-yard line. One receiver, short side left, 2 men in the backfield alongside Holmes. They're going to give it on a running play again to Johansson, and he will barrel hard out to the 9-yard line. So offensive coordinator Clayton George keeping it on the ground and making sure that no mistakes here. But they look at a third down now. 3rd and 3 is Morgan and Story on that last tackle.
And Johansson made a nice move in the backfield to avoid getting blown up for a loss. He throws a little hip fake and turns a 3-yard loss into at least a little positive yardage.
Dragons 1 out of 5 on 3rd down tries, and they need 3, and they're going to give it on a running play. Humphrey gets to the 10, keeps his feet churning, and it looks like he's got the first down, and he does, all the way out to the 13. He was stopped right around the 10, but he kept those legs churning, and McGill gets him down. Only the second play for the Dragons on 3rd down that went for positive yardage tonight, as they'll move the sticks out at the 13, 1st down and 10.
Good second effort.
Big second effort there, Kelly. They'll hand it to Humphrey, and going around left in, he'll try to find the sideline, and he does out near the 15-yard line. Be a gain of a couple as Ryan Jones, the junior, on the stop for the Cowboys. 14-0 after a 6-play, 78-yard drive just a moment ago. 1 minute, 43 seconds off the clock. The scoring drive brought to you by Ozarka brand 100% natural spring water, sourced only in Texas. Ozarka is the official bottled water of the Carroll Dragons and a proud Texan since 1905.
This drive's been 4 runs so far.
Tommy Kane in the game now to receiver position. The Dragons have run the ball 4 straight times. They've got it out at the 14. This time it's a play fake. Holmes looking for a receiver, can't find anybody. He has all kinds of time to throw and goes to the left sideline, and it's knocked away incomplete beyond the 20. Right at the boundary, Duhan was the intended receiver, but TJ McDaniels over in the coverage. Tell you what, Kelly, Holmes
He's impressive.
just can't, he really is. Holmes just can't find any receivers right now.
No, and he has a receiver break off of his route to try to give him something, and then the freshman TJ McDaniel makes an amazing play breaking off of his assignment and batting that ball away at the last minute. Holmes 5 of 14 for 33 yards so far tonight.
Well, it's not a Holmes-like performance early. Here's a 3rd down and 9 from the 15-yard line. Snap to Holmes. Has time, throws over the middle, and the pass is caught, but immediately hit short of the first down. At the 17 was Cam Duhan. Tyler Bell belted him at that point. And the Dragon offense continues to stagnate. 6:12 to go in the first half. They're going to be forced to punt it away again. Line of scrimmage at the 18. They're going to be about 5 yards short of a first down.
And what you really needed was to answer before the half, so this Carroll defense really needs to force a stop and see if they can get something together and maybe get some points on the board before the intermission.
Jake Oldroyd puts a great foot into this one, goes all the way down to the Coppell 35-yard line, fielded by Fex on a bounce, comes back to the 40 and to the 41, so a 6-yard return 45. After a 45-yard punt and 5:44 to go here in the first half, and the Cowboys on top 14-0 as the Dragons will come back out with the football. So from the 41-yard line, 1st down and 10 for Coppell. Again, going from right to left, that is north to south, as they snap into the quarterback, McBride. Can't find a receiver. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, now wrestled down as he gets right back to the 41-yard line. Doddridge, the sophomore, playing that Sam linebacker position, gets his first sack of the year, if it is indeed a loss of 1, and it is going to be a 2nd down and 11 coming, so Doddridge gets credit for the sack.
McBride showing good acceleration, trying to run away from trouble. Doddridge chasing him down from the backside, showing good athleticism.
Matt Werner in at a linebacker spot for the Dragons as they'll give it on a running play to Fex as he comes left side across the 40 to the 43. Be a gain of about 3 yards on the play. Clock running down on 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Coppell on top 14-0 as Ivy Seacat credited with that last tackle for the Dragons.
And Ivy Seacat, boy, what a season he's had. Comes into the game tied for the team lead in tackles. Senior captain has just found a way to get near the ball and the ball carrier, and that was another good example of it right there.
4 incompletions.
4 third-down attempts for Coppell, 4 incompletions. Let's see what they do here on 3rd down and 8 from the 43. A quick pass over the middle, incomplete. Down around the Dragon 45-yard line, intended for Drew Smith. Barrett Buck in the coverage for the Dragons, so Coppell are going to have to give the football right back over.
Update.
As we've got an injury update from the sidelines with Travis, brought to you by Duff's Famous Wings.
Well, the Carroll Dragons a little short on linebackers. Now they seem to have lost another one as junior Grant Phelps is on the sideline. He doesn't have his helmet in hand. I think he went through concussion protocol, and they may have lost him for the game.
Well, remember, Phelps had to miss a game or two earlier in the year and was replaced for a moment one of his teammates. Again, the sophomore Matt Werner in for the Dragons as that punt. Rodriguez is going to bang down inside the 20, and Humphrey lets it roll, and boy, does that cost him as it gets inside the 15, down to the 10, and at the 7-yard line is where it's killed. It's a 50-yard punt.
This one at the
The Dragons starting this time from the 7-yard line after starting from the 2 last time out, so not a great decision right there by Lil Jordan Humphrey to let that one hit. And the Dragons are going to start deep in their own end. On 1st and 10 from the 7-yard line, they're going to hand it off to Lil Jordan Humphrey, and he's going to get about 4 yards out to the 11 before Ryan Finglass and Tyler Bell combining on the tackle from their inside linebacker spots. That's the 8th carry in the game for Lil Jordan Humphrey for 22 yards. By the way, the Dragons' rest of the team, besides Humphrey, 4 carries for nada. They've got 2 in the backfield on 2nd down and 6. Put it in the belly of Humphrey. He comes right with room. 15, 20. Here he goes 30, 35, 40. Hurdles a defender and gets out to the 43-yard line. Is where his knees down. 32 yards on that burst by Lil Jordan Humphrey. Malumba on the tackle, but the Dragons with a good burst there.
And just wide open there to the right side. Humphrey hits the corner. Coppell kind of pursuing to the middle where the last couple of running plays have gone. Little gazelle hurdle at the end of the run, and now Carroll's in business.
5th first down for the Dragons on their 6th drive as they're going to go deep for Farrar, and the pass is going to be caught at the 20. Eludes a defender, turns inside of the 10 to the 5. Touchdown!
57.
Zach Farrar, 57 yards on a highlight reel reception. And into the end zone goes Zach Farrar, and the Dragons are on the board.
That's a Tyree kind of catch. He has to hold his hands up above his head and above the defender just to maintain possession, then jukes the defender out and outruns the rest of the Coppell defense. That was an amazing play. That's D1 quality right there, America.
Cole Ramage on for the PAT, brought to you by County Commissioner Gary Fickus. It's up and good, and we've got timeout on the field with 3:35 to go in the first half, and our new score becomes the Cowboys 14 and the Dragons now 7.
Carroll 32.
A 3-play, 93-yard drive by the Carroll Dragons that took just 47 seconds, and a 57-yard TD pass from Mason Holmes to Zach Farrar, the big fellow who you heard on the pregame show today with his 7th TD catch of the year. And the Dragons cut it to a 7-point deficit as the Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine kickoff, fair caught at the 22-yard line in Coppell territory by Holden Rupley, and it will be first down for Coppell at that point. On 1st down and 10, the quarterback on a keep. It's McBride coming left, and he's swarmed and dropped for no gain right at the 23-yard line as Luke Jeter went for a ride on his back of the junior. He's really been the spearhead of this Dragon defensive front on the tackle.
Once again, Coppell showing zone read, faking the ball to Rice, and yes, the left side of that Carroll defense honors it and plays the fake, but Jeter not fooled. He goes after McBride and corrals him down short of the yard marker for a negative play.
2nd down 11 at 22. Here's the snap to McBride. He'll put in the belly of Rice. Tries to get in the corner right side, and he's dropped for a loss. It is Ryan Miller, who you also heard on our pregame show today. All the guys making the big plays coming out for encores. It's a loss of 2.
Nice job getting upfield penetration by Miller. And Chuck, it looks for all the world like the offense has sort of got this defense fired up and inspired. 3rd and 14 now for Coppell.
Clock running, 2 minutes, 35 seconds to go here in the first half. Remember, the Dragons have 2 timeouts left as it's now 14-7 Cowboys, but the Dragons looking to seize momentum. Incompletions on all 5 third down tries for Coppell, as this is going to be 0 for 6 as they swing it out on the left side out near the 30-yard line. They were looking for Butcher, but he had good coverage from Barrett Buck. An incomplete pass, and the Dragon offense is about to get the ball back as Coppell is going to be forced to punt.
And they ought to get decent field position here, even allowing for the kick going into the wind. If they can just avoid turning it back over, 2 timeouts, 2 minutes, that's plenty of time for this Dragon offense.
Well, standing back at his 40-yard line is Lil Jordan Humphrey.
5 punts, 34.
As Rodriguez with his 6th punt of the game, averaging 34 yards. This one hits at the Carroll 43 and is going to be killed there. And the Dragons will have it with 2:10 to go until halftime, trailing 14-7 to this offense after a 38-yard punt back out onto the field. Best starting field position of the 7 drives for the Dragons as they'll hand it on first down to Jack Johansson, and he'll get out across the 45 as the line of scrimmage was the 43. In fact, he'll get 5 yards all the way out to the 48-yard line, so it'll bring up a second 5 as we're down at 4 to go. The Dragons stay fast as they go to the line of scrimmage. One receiver short side to the left, trips to the right. Holmes hand it off. There goes Humphrey around left. He gets to the 45-yard and he's run out of bounds. It'll stop the clock with 1:41 to go. First half, and it's out after a gain of 8. Coppell 44 with the tackle.
Lucas and Cade Long doing good work over there on the left side of the offensive. Finding on the field.
Dragons stay in the hurry up. They put Humphrey in motion out to the left side, throw him the football. Well, throw for he tucks it down and run inside the 45. It'll get down to 43, gain a yard. As again, it looked like it was, they're trying to set up a pass, but like statistician Brian Sperry indicating, it looked to us like that was a pass.
Right, Razors, Carroll Luck.
So it'll bring up a second down and 9. Snap to home, and he throws deep down the left side, has a man, but it's overthrown down around the 15-yard line. Dewey was battling with Jake. So that'll bring third down now. 60 seconds left to go in the first half. Cowboys on top of the Dragons 7, but Carroll on the Coppell side of the 50-yard line at the 43.
And time to do something that they can convert this third down and get themselves a fresh set. Nice by T.J. McCall to take Duhan his route. Carroll 2 of 7 on third down. This will be kind of a tough one for third and 9. Coppell has to know what's coming, especially as Carroll goes to wide.
Third down and 9 from the 43. Snapping to Holmes. He has protection. In the pattern now has to run. Dumps it off in the pass. Incomplete. Looking for Humphrey at the 40-yard line. Coppell territory. Cody Masters, the junior, who was over in the coverage, had pressure coming from A. Johnson. Get rid of it, and the Dragons are going to go ahead and send the punt team on here late in the first half, down 14-7. So unfortunate to get the ball in really good field position, do anything with it, but all things considered, if this is the halftime score, I think the Dragons will be okay with that.
Well, just to be down 1 score going into the lock, you got to like it. The key once you get the ball back to Coppell is keep it a 1-score game.
47 and a quarter yards.
47 yards. Punts for Oldroyd as he kicks this one down to the goal. Perfect hop as it comes back out to the 7 and is killed there with 52 seconds
36
remaining in the first half. 36 yards on the punt. McFarland, number 36, down to kill it. And it'll be Coppell deep in its own end. Remember, the Dragons with 2 timeouts left. So you see the clock management coming up here from Coppell's. They'll try to get out of this sticky situation. First out and 10. Handoff goes to Brandon Rice around the right end. Gets beyond the 10, out near the 13-yard line. Did they give him an extra couple? Yeah, they did. Looks like he's out near the 14. That's 1 extra yard before Obi Ebo helped to get him across the sideline. So it's second down and 4. Now, that helps the Dragons because they have the 2 timeouts left. If they can keep them, Kelly, from getting the first down, they could get the ball back with a little bit of time remaining.
Anything's possible. Take your shot, but you know Coppell going to try to keep it on the ground probably at this point. Just see if they can milk the rest of that clock.
Well, they had a flag before the play started, and it was a false start against the Cowboys. So that'll back them up 5 more yards. So from the 14, they'll go back to the 9. So there's 42 seconds to go till halftime. The Dragons have 2 timeouts left. It's now second down and 9 for Coppell from its 9-yard line. So again, if you stop 2 running plays here, you could probably get the ball back with, maybe almost 30 seconds left.
Yeah, but you're going to have to burn one of the timeouts here. Obviously, it doesn't leave you as much to work with when you get the ball back. But
snap to McBride, handed oove Fex, coming around the left end. We'll forget it because he's got plenty of room. Gets to the 20, 25, 30. Now he gets out of bounds at the 45-yard line, maybe even the 46. So 37. That goes for 37 yards and a straight handoff to Joe Fex. Buck and Doddridge on the tackle. 14 carries for Joe Fex in the game. 109 yards last week. He had 121 in the win against LD Bell and tweaked his knee in that game. So the guy playing on what might not be 100% wheel, certainly doing super tonight over the century mark on the ground. First down and 10 from the 46-yard line. Short side left, 1 receiver, 2 wide right. Here's the play fake. McBride can't find a receiver, tucks it down, gets hit, and will drop at the 50-yard line as he's tackled by Matt Werner. And now, of course, Coppell with no timeouts left. Going to have to scurry back to the line of scrimmage if we're going to get another playoff. We're down to 15 seconds, clock running. Remember, the Cowboys used all their timeouts on defense in the first quarter. And they'll get one more snap at least here in the first half from the 50-yard line. Snap it to McBride, and he throws over the right sideline, incomplete. And it was probably better off that the receiver, Fink, let that one go. By the way, Josh Fink has been held pretty much in check. 2 catches for 30 yards here in this game, and that is a yeoman job by the Dragon defense. And Obi Ebo, he had 40 catches coming into the game for 627 yards. Talking about Fink, the all-world receiver, 6-foot senior for the Coppell Cowboys. Well, 4 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd down and 6 from the 50. Snap to McBride. Can't find a receiver, so he'll tuck it and run. Gets to the 40, gets to the 35, and gets bulldogged down at that point by Ivy Seacat. And we get a flag at the end of the play as, well, let's see. Was it McBride taking his helmet off, or did he have assistance doing so?
Yeah, he might have had a little bit of help there. He got up looking to the ref like, hey, did you see that? And, of course, if the flag is on the Dragons, that would put the ball down close to the 20. And, of course, the half can't end on a defensive penalty, so that would give Coppell one more chance to maybe take a shot at the end zone.
Yep, exactly right. So it's going to be a 15-yard run, and then if you get the personal foul at the end of the play, 15 more yards. And that's going to be down to the 15, so Coppell will indeed have one more shot. Travis Smith on the sidelines. Duff's Famous Wings sideline update, Trav.
It looked as if he did tackle him by using the face mask, but I believe where the penalty came from was after the play was over. The Ivy Seacat, I think, kind of tossed his helmet away from the player, and that's what made the officials see that, oh, hey, something happened here, threw that flag as a dead ball personal foul.
Well, there's no time left on the clock, so they're going to run an untimed down for the Dragon. 20 is where they put it down, and they'll try a field goal as Bernardo Rodriguez, the line of scrimmage at the 20, is going to try a 37-yard field goal, but not before a timeout. We mentioned the trouble Coppell had with its kicker. They're going to go to Kevin Madigan here, who's 0 for 2 on field goal tries. Madigan to try a 37-yard attempt from the left hash. He has plenty of distance. It's on the way, and he missed it wide right. Well, he had the distance, but did not have the accuracy, and with that, the first half comes to an end. The Dragons dodge a bullet, and after 2 quarters of play, Carroll now trailing Coppell 14-7 as Coppell drove 72 yards in 52 seconds, but wind up coming up empty, and we've got a 7-point game at the half. Set to start the third quarter. The Carroll Dragons are going to receive the football, go from left to right. That is south to north here at Buddy Eccles Field, trailing 14-7 as Tyler Smith puts the foot into the ball with the wind. Will kick it about 3 yards deep into the Carroll end zone, and the Dragons will have it 1st and 10 for their own 25 as quarterback Mason Holmes brings out the offense. A couple of scores to pass along on our Kincaid's Hamburgers out-of-town scoreboard, 7-6-A tonight. It is Trinity all over Haltom. That's not a surprise. Trinity number 3 in the area, 48-0. That one early into the third quarter. Richland over Bell, 20-7. That's the Dragons' next opponent next week when we go home. So the Rebels on top of the Raiders tonight. That one over at Birdville.
We get to play at home next week?
Yeah, what an idea.
That'll be great.
We'll have some more scores coming up in just a minute. The Dragons start 1st and 10 for the 25-yard line as they have a 2-back set. Humphrey and Johansson either side of the quarterback. Holmes, they'll hand it off to Lil Jordan Humphrey, and he goes right into the guard slot and gets a yard to the 26-yard line. Pickup of 1, and the tackle made by basically everybody in the Cowboy defense, led by Ryan Jones, the first guy in there. The offensive line for the Dragons, Tribble, Long, Ezard, Sanford, and Green. We'll check to see if there's any changes on that initial 5 that started the ball game for Carroll. The receiving core, Duhan, along with Coleman and Johansson, as they snap it to the quarterback. And Holmes will hand it off, sweep left, goes Shamar Coleman. He's hit right near the line of scrimmage. Will get another tough yard as he gets out to the 27. Tyler Bell on the tackle for Coppell.
Little stretch play. Holmes looking like he might carry off to the right side, but the ball handed to Coleman. He tries to turn the corner, but good lateral quickness by that Coppell defense, and Coleman just not able to get anything much out of it.
3rd and 8. This is their
third down
shortest
and
third
8
down
for the Dragons, and this is their third shortest third down needed of the evening, believe that or not. From the 27-yard line, snap it to Holmes, throws deep over the middle. The pass a little bit overthrown, incomplete as the receiver Duhan got his hands on it up around the Dragon 45, but T.J. McDaniel, the freshman, back in good coverage. Dragons go 3 and out to start the second half.
Been a lot of those tonight, and that's not what you want to do if you're trying to reclaim momentum early on in the second half of a tough game. You're just giving the ball right back to a Coppell offense.
Well, punt time coming for Jake Oldroyd, who has, what color exactly are those shoes he has? Kind of lime green.
Chartreuse, I think.
Lime green, I think. Hits it from his 15-yard line, puts a good foot into it. Again, this is into the breeze, hits down around the Coppell 35-yard line. It was dangerously close to one of the blocking Cowboys. Going to be a 35-yard punt, and Coppell going to have it first down from its 38. 10:43 to go in the third quarter. On first down and 10, they're going to hand it off to Rice, trying to sweep the right side. Has running room as he bounces out across the 45 and is bumped out near the first down as he gets out to the 49. Going to be good for a first. Pick up 11 on the play. Robert Barnes for the Dragons, the free safety, getting him across the sideline.
It's just power to the weak side. They line up Drew Smith, the tight end, is flexed out to the right, running away from strength, and a nice run there by Rice.
First down and 10 for the 49-yard line. Snap it to McBride, and he'll hand it to Joe Fax, and he had the 100-yard plus performance in the first half, but he gets knocked down for a loss of 1 to the 48. It's Grant McFarland on the tackle for the Dragons. That'll bring up second down and 11. Fax, the running back, Fink, McDaniel, and McGill, the receivers. Galloway, Garcia, Rockefeller, Goodwin, and Osuji along that offensive line. And for the Coppell Cowboys, it averages 245 pounds across the front. A flag before the play starts. Going to be a procedure penalty against Coppell. That's going to cost them 5 more yards. Back to that Kincaid's Hamburgers out-of-town scoreboard. District action in 8-6A. Well, Allen's going to make it 49 in a row, leading Louisville 38-7. That one early in the third quarter. Plano East leads McKinney Boyd 15-14 in the third. Plano and Plano West tied at 7 at John Clark Field in the third. And Marcus and Flower Mound, it's the Mound showdown, and the Marauders on top 21-7. That one early third quarter. Our spotter, Brendan Carpenter, he of Marcus.
Pleased by that news.
Yeah, Marcus lineage says, hey, I'm good with that. Here's a high snap, and the quarterback, McBride, had to reach up and snare it. The ball popped free at the end of the play, but they said he's already down. There's also a flag down, too, as the ball, I think, is going to be killed at the 42-yard line.
Face mask.
And there's probably going to be a face mask in here as well. So what a convoluted play, and they'll sort this one all out. We'll see where the football winds up after all is said and done.
Yeah, you wait for the call, but probably a personal foul, which will negate a nice break for the Dragon defense, and they're getting ready to mark it off against Carroll.
Yep, going to be a face mask against the Dragons, and that will cost them 15 yards. We mentioned the Dragons did not have a penalty in the first half, but they get a costly one here as a personal foul, and the yardage will give them the first down at the Dragon 42-yard line. Again, next week, the Dragons at home against Richland will be on the air at 6:30 for countdown to kickoff, 7:30. That's when we'll get it started back at Dragon Stadium, one of 4 home games this year. So we're playing road game 38 tonight in Coppell. That's from the 42-yard line. First down and 10, snap to McBride, and he'll hand it off. Beck slashes to the left and gets tripped from behind. Ryan Miller actually got him right around the waist and knocked him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain for Fex.
That was a nice play by Miller. I mean, first he gets the backfield penetration, and as Fex is going by, does a good job wrapping and tackling. That wasn't just an arm tackle. He got both of them around Fex. Fex is strong, but Miller did a good job on that one to isolate him and make it 2nd and 10.
at the 42-yard line. 2nd down and 10. Short side of the field is to the left. 2 receivers slot to the right. Put it in the belly of Rice, trying to find running room, and he gets his knees chopped out from under him at the 41. Gain of about 1.5 yards as he stopped by the combination of Matt Warner, the sophomore, who had some help from one of his teammates, and drops him on the play, and it'll be 3rd down and long for Coppell.
Well, thus far, you got to like what Carroll's defense has done on this opening possession for Coppell. Aside from the penalty, Coppell has really not done anything to move the ball forward. Carroll doing a good job staying at home, doing a good job getting penetration.
14-7 Coppell, 8:35 to go in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 9 for the Cowboys from the Dragon 40-yard line. A rollout and the pass caught down around the 30-yard line. The reception made by Josh Fink, his 3rd grab of the game, and it's good for the 1st down as Ebo in the coverage. It's a pickup of 11 yards and a 1st and 10.
McBride throwing on the run gets it to Fink, who's double covered with the sideline as an additional defender. That ball was threaded perfectly.
So now the Cowboys, 1st down from the Dragon 30, put it in the belly of Fex. He breaks one tackle, but then runs right into a hard stop from Jackson Davis, who came up and belted him right at the 30, and he gets a yard to the 29. Boy, Davis, the junior, playing tough off that right cornerback position.
And he hit low on that play. Fex was coming around the corner.
And I got sidelined.
Davis just went right for the legs and cut him down.
Dust Famous Wings sideline update, Travis.
Yeah, Jackson Davis replaced Zales late in that 2nd quarter. Zales is not injured. He's on the sideline, so Davis just earning the playing time.
Here is the fake on the handoff and a running play up the middle. McBride with room to the 20, the 15, to the 10-5. Touchdown, Brady McBride. 29 yards on the running play as the sophomore quarterback sucked everybody in with a play fake, and away he went to the end zone. And Coppell, at 7:40 to go in the 3rd quarter, now extends its lead to 20-7.
And Jackson Davis had a shot at him at about the 15-yard line, but he lost his footing, and that was all that McBride needed to scoot through to the end zone.
Here is the PAT, Bernardo Rodriguez, out of the hold of Josh Fink, and the kick is up and good. So Coppell reestablishes the 2-touchdown lead. 7:40 to go 3rd quarter. The new score, Cowboys 21 and the Dragons 7. 7:40 to go 3rd quarter, and Coppell back on top by 14, 21-7. Chuck Kelly, Kelly Milligan, Travis Smith. Glad to have you with us at Buddy Eccles Field in Coppell as the Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine kickoff fielded at the goal line by little Jordan Humphrey. He will touch it down to a knee, and Carroll will have it at its own 25. As Carroll will send the offense back out and hope to get something going. On 1st down and 10, Holmes to throw, right sideline complete, 11 yards out across the 35 to the 36. A 1st down catch there by Zach Farrar, who had been held in check with the exception of that one touchdown pass in the 1st half. Ryan Jones hit him immediately.
That's one of the few times you've seen a Dragon receiver open with no coverage, but Farrar didn't have anybody around him. Ball thrown high. He had to range up to get it, but at least Carroll's got a little positive momentum on 1st down.
Chain crew wasn't moving. The official on the near sideline had to say, hey, move. At a jump in the defensive front, Dragons just got a free 5 yards, I do believe, although Coppell pointing across to the other side. But boy, tell you what, A.J. Johnson, big senior, is not happy at all. The leader of this defensive line. They have a couple of guys on the defensive front, he and Frankie Morgan, each big New York Giant fans. I got to question that.
You do wonder about that. One's from New Jersey, the other is from New York.
Sideline.
So the Giants is your team of choice. Quickly to Travis, Dutch Famous Swinging sideline update.
Yeah, and what Johnson was complaining about, he thought the center had moved the football, and that's why they jumped.
1st down and 5 from the 41-yard line. 2 receivers left. That's the wide side. 2 short side right. 4 men on the rush. Holmes has time. Throws left side. Pass is caught at the 30-yard line. Great adjustment by Shamar Coleman to haul it in against the defense. That's 29 yards and a Dragon 1st down.
Cody Masters right there with him in coverage, kind of a post route along the hash mark. Coleman can see the ball is being thrown to his back shoulder. He adjusts as the ball is in flight, turns and makes the catch.
Looks like Coleman might be a little shaken up as he comes off to the near sideline, a bit wobbly.
And he came down hard on that play.
By trainer Darren Abel as Cam Duhan comes into the ball game. He and Tommy Kane both in for the Dragons along with Johansson and Farrar. They go 5 wide set now as they send Humphrey out in a slot to the left side. Here's the snap, set up the screen. It's caught by Farrar. He has room. Turns to the middle of the field, but he's chopped down after a short gain of 3.5 inside the 27-yard line. Ryan Jones got it, but boy, you could see when Farrar caught that ball in space, he was ready to get it up.
And that's a good play designed to get him the ball in space. He breaks off of what looks like it's going to be a downfield or a vertical route, breaks back in on the screen, just as the pressure was coming for Holmes. Had he found a little more open space, that could have been a big play.
2nd down and 7. Snap it to Holmes. Throws for the end zone into double coverage. That pass is incomplete. And boy, fortunate that the Dragons did not have a second pass picked off, as Tommy Kane had to play defense on Jonathan McGill as the freshman almost got that INT.
Yeah, McGill ranged right position playing center field on that deep. He lost it, came down as a lucky, but they're now facing 3rd and long. That has not worked out really well for
Coleman loosening up on the near sideline. Looks like he'll be okay after being shaken up a moment ago. 3rd down and 7. Carroll at the 27. They got to have something good here as a timeout called by Coppell. 56 to go third quarter. Coppell for the 5th time game has earned a timeout as the Dragons look down in here at the Coppell 21-yard line. So an interesting move there by the Cowboy coaching hierarchy. And Mike DeWitt, he's a defensive-minded guy, and he knows that's the side of the ball. They are not to use those timeouts on defense. 3rd down, 7, 20. Dragons put receivers left, 2 right. Humphrey in the back, alongside the quarterback. Holmes, here comes 5-man rush. Holmes is hit, dropped the football, a battle for it at the 37-yard line in Coppell territory, and waiting on the an indication. Coppell that has the recovery. Cowboys have recovered the fumble as one that recovered. And the guy that forced it, Solomon Wise, the big leader, has been looked at by SMU, Kansas, or Texas, among others. Wise forced the fumble as he hit Holmes' arm. It popped free, and the Dragons with another turnover. Coppell now has the ball, 5:48 to go, 3rd quarter, leading 21-7.
They were dialing up the pressure. They come in, timeout, picked up and ramped and ready to go, and you could see it pre-snap. Solomon Wise, not the player at 6 with big.
1st down and 10 from the 37. Handoff goes to Rice. He'll wiggle his way across the 40, get to the 45 to the 46-yard line. Gain of 9 yards on a Miller, Doddridge, and Seacat tackle for the Dragons. This is a punishing running game of this defense with Brandon Rice back in the backfield.
10 for 92.
He's got 10 for 92 yards.
Fex
of course,
has
Fex,
16 for
110 yards. They added him up. Deep pass down the right sideline. On 10. It's caught at the Dragon 13-yard line. Josh Fink 1-1 against Obi Ebo, and Fink in 41 yards pass play.
The touch on that coming from a sophomore quarterback, very impressive. There's only one place he can put that ball, but he gets it to Fink front shoulder. Fink hangs on as he comes down.
2-back set, handed off to Fex, and he will get inside the 10, get down to the 9, into the 8. That's a 4-yard gain on 1st down as he gets under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. A lot of extra effort there for Fex, the hard-nosed running back, Seacat and Doddridge on the tackle.
You know, you talk about McBride being a coach's kid. Same is true of Fex. His dad, Steve, the co-defensive coordinator, and a guy that McBride refers to as his Yoda. But Fex is another kid that has grown up around this game, and you can see it pay off in the extra effort.
Bernardo Rodriguez in the game at a running back position. Yep, that's the guy who punts. Actually carried it 5 times last week for 30 yards. As McBride, the quarterback, hands it off to Fex, and he will carry on a little zone read inside the 10. Down to the 7. Officially, no gain on the play as Buck and Warner on the tackle for the Dragons.
That's interesting, putting a kicker back there as a second back. Maybe he's helping you set up position for a field goal if you don't get it into the end zone.
Now, he's a guy that is listed 3rd on the depth chart, so Bernardo Rodriguez in there alongside Rice. Actually, they clear him out now. It's Rice and Fex in the backfield on 3rd down, and 5 yards to go from the 7. Snapping to McBride, rolls out to the right, throws for the end zone, and the pass is knocked away. Great defensive play as Fink was the intended receiver, but Obi Ebo knock that one away at the goal line. It'll bring up 4th down, and Coppell about to send the punt team on.
And that's,
the
what
field goal team on.
Yeah, they'll feel that. So Rodriguez comes back out in all probability, and there he is. But the play by Obi Ebo on the 3rd down pass, very nice. He provided good coverage, got his hand up at exactly the right moment. Those are just the epitome of D1 cover skills.
Well, it'll be a 25-yard attempt, angle slightly to the right as they're going to kick off the left side hash. Again, Fink is the holder. Ball down, kick on the way, and this time it's perfect from Bernardo Rodriguez. And the field goal increases Coppell's lead to 24-7 with 3:49 to go in the 3rd quarter. Timeout on the field. Off on 1st down and a loss of 1 on the play for Jack Johansson.
Not in the conventional sense anyway, I would emphasize that.
I knew that this train was about to go off the tracks. Quickly, Travis, steps away your swing, saw on that.
Save us.
Well, the Carroll offense have got to figure out this defense, and the problem has been Ryan Jones, Cody Masters, the 2 outside linebackers, constantly coming with pressure, getting in the backfield, and disrupting what they're trying to do.
2nd down and 10. Mason Holmes going to stretch this one out, looking for Farrar, and he makes the catch at the 40-yard line. He's to the Coppell 30. He's to the 20, 75. To the 10. Touchdown, 75 yards from Mason Holmes to Zach Farrar, and the Dragons are on the board. It's 24-13.
Another highlight reel catch for Zach Farrar. He is very well covered. He really has to almost wrestle the ball away from the defender. The defender loses his footing, and Farrar goes the distance. Beautiful.
Boy, that's what the Dragons needed, and how, as County Commissioner Gary Fickus brings you the point after it, 10. From Cole Ramage, PAT, out of the hold of Montana Murphy, up and good. And just like that, the Dragon offense strikes. We've got a timeout with 3:01 to go in the 3rd quarter. A little more like it. Dragons within 10. It's now Coppell 24 and Carroll 14. Carroll Scoring Drive brought to you by Osaka brand 100% natural spring water. 2 plays, 75 yards, taking 42 seconds. A 75-yard touchdown pass from Mason Holmes to a motivated Zach Farrar, who gets his 8th TD catch of the year. And the Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine kickoff down to the 17-yard line, fielded there by Joe Fex, and he dances out to the 20, to the 25, and he'll be knocked down at the 26. That's where the Cowboys will have it, 1st and 10. Again, 24-14 the score. Here's the Coppell offense set to come back out. Good chance to tell you tonight's game brought to you by the Tommy Pennington Realty Group. I know Tommy's listening tonight. He had his little jealous, Kelly.
Well, okay. We'll get him on later in the year.
That return took 8 seconds and went 8 yards.
Ready for that big game tomorrow, Tommy, you think? Baylor and Tech at the Death Star?
He's probably already out there tailgating, getting a good spot.
You're looking for a great realtor in Southlake. Call Tommy.com. Get you into a house, sell your house, whatever you need. Tommy is the realtor in Southlake. Dragons with a 5-man defensive front. They hand it off to Brandon Rice, and he dances outside right for 26 out to the 30, a gain of 4 yards. Ivy Seacat on the tackle. Again, Carroll normally plays that 3-4 look up front, the 3-down line with 4 linebackers, but with Coppell, really not much of a threat to throw the football. They have punched up the linebackers, Grant McFarland and Jacob Doddridge, to basically put a 5-man front against him and just dare him to throw.
You're just setting the edge and doing so a little closer to the line of scrimmage, and if it works, so much better.
Hand off to Rice. This time he crosses the 30, gets out to the 34. It's a gain of 4 more yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 2. Doddridge and Ebo on the stop for the Dragons, as that's the 12th carry for Brandon Rice. And 100 yards in the ballgame. So both running backs for Coppell, Joe Fex and Brandon Rice, over 100.
Well, McBride has a few rushing yards of his own, so Coppell really moving it on the ground against this Carroll defense.
3rd and 2, straight ahead, gets to the 37-yard line. Looks like he's good for the 1st down. Let's see the Dragon defense.
as they spotted it right at the 37, making the stop. But let's check to see if they say, let's take a look at the chains. They still haven't moved it any yet. Now they say, okay, now they move it.
Yeah.
Okay. They started at the 26 and they got to the 37.
That was clear from up here. I don't know what the chain gang was looking for.
They weren't moving.
The heavenly host.
But now they do.
Move the chain.
24-14 Cowboys over the Dragons from the 37-yard line. Snapped to McBride, and he hands it off. Joe Fex has a sliver, goes right to the 40, toward the sideline. 45, first down as he gets to the 50-yard line before he's bumped out of bounds by Barrett Buck. Another gain of about 12, maybe 13 yards. They're going to say he's out at the 49, so 12 yards on the running play for Joe Fex. And again, nothing special on that give, but now 130 yards for Fex on 20 carries.
Well, I couldn't see who it was from the replay, but you had a missed tackle at the line of scrimmage. Carroll defender right there, but Fex is a slasher, and he got through the arm tackle and turned that into a nice play.
Here's the snap to McBride. Puts it in the belly of Fex, and this time he is doubled over for a big loss on the... That's going to be a loss of a couple, as Luke Jeter was the first one to hit him. Matt Werner, the sophomore, who remembers in the game Grant Phelps injured and out of the contest, and Werner, the sophomore, forced into duty for Carroll at that linebacker spot.
I'm not sure that's where Fex wanted to run the ball, but he saw Jeter there on the edge, which kind of forced the play back inside, and Jeter able to wrap him up as he went by. So negative play on first down, give this Dragon defense maybe a little momentum here.
Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Second down and 11. Rolling with a marker down. This is the quarterback, McBride. Throws to the sideline, and it's intercepted. Near the 50, it's Barnes who's got it. And let's see what the flag is, because it looks like the Dragons have just forced a huge turnover at midfield as the sophomore made a mistake with heavy pressure coming from Ivy Seacat. He got rid of it, and Robert Barnes said, thank you very much.
He was just trying to throw that ball away, but it looks like the penalty's going to be on Carroll.
Offside against the Dragons. How big is that?
That's huge, is what that is. Brady McBride doesn't make too many mistakes. And he may not make another.
Wow.
But not only is it negating a turnover, but that's two running plays the way they've been moving it here in the second half.
That is a huge penalty. Instead of the Dragons taking over, it is now second down and 6 from the Carroll 47-yard line. They'll give it to Rice, trying to bounce outside right, but he's hit behind the line of scrimmage by Barrett Buck. Here's that little fire plug again, who comes in for a loss of 3 on the play. And that takes us under a half minute to go here in the third quarter. Big third down coming up.
You can't say enough about the play of the Dragons safeties. Barnes getting the interception on the previous play, even though it's negated by the penalty. Buck on second down coming downhill and wrapping up a running back that's given him fits all night. Now Coppell looking at 3rd and 9. 3 of 10 on third down for the night, but they are 3 of their last 4. So Carroll defense needs a big play here.
Well, they're going to wait until the fourth quarter as the clock is running down, and it will go to triple zeros. And so the fourth quarter will begin with the score, the Cowboys 24 and the Dragons 14. Stick around. It's a good one tonight. Fourth quarter is set to start from the 50-yard line. They just flip sides as Coppell going to go toward the north end zone. That is from left to right. In the red tops over the white pants, white headgear, white numerals. Dragons in the traveling all whites with the green numerals and the black trim, white headgear. As it is third down and 9 from the 50. Brady McBride, the sophomore, takes the snap, rolls out to his left, throws down to the Dragon 40, and it's incomplete. Intended over there for Butcher, Trent Butcher. The senior was in the pattern, but Jackson Davis over the coverage for the Dragons. And fourth down, and Coppell will be forced to punt.
Critical thing, even though they're not likely to get great field position, Carroll's got the ball back, down 10, just to start the fourth quarter here.
Bernardo Rodriguez, again, kicking into that breeze. It's about 15 miles an hour in his face. Gets a low snap. He's in trouble. Here comes the pressure. He's hit. Remember, he's a running back, but he's knocked down at the 45-yard line, and the Dragons are going to have it in Coppell territory as Camper and Doddridge found a Bernardo Rodriguez feast, and they dug in and got him, and the Dragons have great field position.
And that's not something you'd expect, although Coppell has difficulty with the center snap out of the shotgun. Their long snapper, Connor Schote, won best snapper at Baylor Special Teams Camp this last offseason. That just wasn't a good one. Carroll now in a position to capitalize with the short field and the Coppell 45.
Could it be the opportunity that Carroll needs as it's first down and 10 from the 45? It looks like Zach Farrar is lined up offside, but we'll see. Three-man rush for Coppell. They're going to bring a fourth on the rush as Holmes, heavy pressure, in trouble, needs to get rid of the football, throws it near side. There's nobody here. That's got to be grounding. And there's the flag. Indeed, going to be intentional grounding against Mason Holmes. He's done a great job all year long of getting rid of the football, but right there was no receiver within an area code.
He had all kinds of pressure coming out of the middle of that defense. You had Austin Hansen and Ryan Jones, and there was nobody in the vicinity except linemen.
Well, that is a critical penalty against the young quarterback, and he has been so good all year long. A 21-yard loss after all is said and done, all the way back to the Carroll 34-yard line. Second down, 34. Here is the pass over the middle on a screen, set it up. Lil Jordan didn't hang on to it. It's incomplete. And Humphrey had heavy pressure coming, and he got hit right as soon as he caught the football, as it was Eric Loop, the backup linebacker, who came in and put the lick to him there. Third down and long.
What you're seeing out of this Coppell defense is kind of the embodiment of Mike DeWitt's words. The best coverage is pressure. They have dialed up blitzes on Mason Holmes all night long, and they've managed to get the best results at the critical moments.
From the 34 in Carroll territory, they need to get to the Coppell 35, so really just want to get some of the yards back here on third down and 31. We're early in the fourth quarter. Coppell leading 24-14. Holmes changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Two receivers left, two right, and he ran out of time. It's about to become third and 36.
Not the sort of execution you're hoping for. Your defense and special teams catch a break for you, and the offense just moves backwards.
Absolutely gave it away. So, the Dragons, again, will now try to at least expect to convert a third and 36, although you never know. Two receivers left and right. Another whistle before the play starts. Oh, my. And a timeout called by Coppell on a third down and 36. Third down and 36 for Carroll at its 29-yard line. Here is Holmes, going to air it out, looking deep. Couple of men bumping for hard down around the 30-yard line, but it's an incomplete pass. Threw it deep into double coverage, so heck, they took the shot. The Dragons will have to kick this one away, and we'll see if Jake Oldroyd can flip the field.
And really, it wasn't a bad shot. That ball was pretty close to Farrar, just about a few inches past his fingertips, so Carroll gave it a go.
Real quick, third quarter numbers. Coppell 388 yards, Carroll 281. First downs in favor of the Cowboys 19-10. Carroll only 59 yards rushing tonight to go along with 222 yards passing. Oldroyd launches it down to the 30-yard line in Coppell territory, where it's caught by Josh Fink with a fair catch. 41 yards on the punt, and Carroll will have it. Coppell will have it first down and 10 at the 30, 11-10 to go here in the fourth quarter. High snap on first and 10 from the 31-yard line. Going to quarterback McBride had to pull it down, and he just goes straight ahead for maybe a yard.
He had to leave his feet for that one. He's had to pull down several. I've counted 8 or 9 already, but that might have been the highest of the bunch. Coppell lucky that one didn't get away.
Miller on the tackle from the 31-yard line. Second down and 9. Coppell leading 24-14. 10:43 to go here in quarter number 4. Hand off to Fex, floats outside to the right, puts his head down at the 31, gets out to the 34, gain of about 3. Buck and Seacat on the stop for the Dragons. So here is a big third down.
Very impressed with the way Fex continues to run the ball. Just gets down, gets behind his pads, and when you think you've got him, he manages to find a little bit of daylight. 22 carries for 131 yards on the night. And now, Chuck, clock becoming a factor with a 2-score lead. If Coppell can keep it on the ground and bleed it, that's going to make it all the much more difficult for Carroll.
Well, they put a man in motion. That is Fink, as they'll roll it out to the left, try to find an open receiver, but instead the quarterback, McBride, running strong, gets across the 35. He needed to get to the 40, but he stopped just short at the 38.5-yard line, so it's going to bring up 4th down. Barrett Buck came up to finish him. They put Fink in motion, gave the option to the quarterback to pass the football, McBride, but as it is,
Coppell likes to use motion to clear out a linebacker, and in that case they wind up flooding a zone. The hope is that Fink can find a little running lane in the midst of all that, but the Carroll defense did a good job keeping the edge and stopping him just short of the marker.
Bernardo Rodriguez has been a busy guy tonight. Hits this one from his 30-yard line into the breeze. Little Jordan Humphrey said everybody get away and hit a Coppell Cowboy right at the 27. And the Dragons will have the football right around that point with 9:15 make it to go here in the 4th quarter. On 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line, Shamar Coleman takes the handoff, has room in the sliver, 30, 35, 40, breaks it in the open, gets to the 45, and he's tackled at that point. But a 17-yard gallop for Shamar Coleman, who was shaken up earlier but looked fine there. Cody Masters making the tackle for Coppell.
He did, showed nice burst and acceleration coming off the corner. Had he been able to keep his footing near the 40-yard line, he might have had more.
From the 45, here's the snap. The ball is knocked away at the 15-yard line as they are continuing to work on Farrar, but Kyron Jamison making a defensive play for the Cowboys.
Yeah, Jamison is a guy that is a real challenge. He was moved midway through spring ball. Got the athletic abilities. It's just to take his game to this level. That was a big play.
Mark leads Flowermound 28-14 in the 4th over Plano, 15-7 in the 4th.
Wait, Plano over Plano?
I beg your pardon, Plano West over Plano. Well, yeah, it was kind of, yeah, in a way. 45, I'm going to lock sideline blocking for Jordan Humphrey around the left boundary, and it's incomplete. So a 10 pass threw up a jump ball, and it is now thrown 4 completions for the tonight. They're kind of desperate, trying to find a receiver that's open and get into some kind of rhythm.
There's enough time. You don't need to be going for 6 on the pass, especially when you've got a ground game.
12 of 28 in the game is Mason Holmes. Oh boy, for 222 yards. 3rd down and 10, 45. Ezzard snap to home line and down at the Coppell 42. Kyron James on the tackle, but a gain of 14 on the pass. Zach
Farrar on a little stick route. He's got double coverage, but uses the ball thrown high. Carroll gets the break and a fresh step.
From 42, 1st down, snap to Holmes, hand off Coleman up the middle. 40 gets 38. Beg your pardon, it's Johansson. It was Johansson there, and we get a flag near the end of the play, so this is going to be extracurricular. Somebody's about 15-yard gap. Let's see which way it goes.
The Coppell players, a couple of them pointing in the direction of the Carroll bench.
Well, that's one thing. Boston show the Dragons have to clean up. That's going to be personal fouls on both sides, going to be offsetting, so that works out. A couple other scores are telling you: Allen over Louisville, 42-7 over Plano East, 27-15. Geyer over Northwest, 48-3, 4th quarter, and Ryan over Byron Nelson, 20-3. Keller leads Keller Central, 17-14. Nope, that game's gone final now. Keller over Central, 17-14. All the scores brought to you by Kincaid's Hamburgers in South Lake. From the 38-yard line, second pressure, they pick it up, one-on-one. He has Farrar wide open, caught at the goal line, touchdown! Zach Farrar beat the defense again as Kyron Jamison couldn't hang on. 38 yards on the pass play from Holmes to Farrar, and the Dragons are back within 4. It's 24-20.
Not exactly a typical blitz beater play. With the pressure coming, he had to hang in there knowing he was likely to get rocked. But he's got Farrar with a step, on Kyron Jamison on the post route, and that's good for the score.
County Commissioner Gary Fickus brings you the point after attempt by Cole Ramage. It's up and good. Timeout on the field, 7:46 to go third quarter. Our new score becomes Coppell 24 and Carroll 21. Well, 7:46 to go fourth quarter. Dragons within 3. The Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine kickoff will go down into the end zone. Fumble there by Fex, picks it up, comes back to the 5 to the 10, and he's cut down at the 13-yard line. Joe Fex, because he kind of fumbled the football right when he caught it at the goal line, didn't know if he was in play or not, had to run it out. Grant McFarland knocked him down, and it will be first and 10, Coppell deep in its own end, 7:43 to go in quarter number 4. Carroll Dragon football tonight brought to you by Cole Holmes and his new digs. Cole Holmes at Waterstone Mortgage, to new name, at the same time your next close. Avoid the hassle. Next Homes in Town Square or online at accordingtocole.com. First down and 10, handoff goes to Joe Fex, and he will burrow the pile from the line of scrimmage, which is the 13, just a couple of yards to the 15. Boy, you can really tell the Dragon fans below sensing this one, and the Dragons on the sideline, same way. They feel a big tide turning as Uncle Mo does seem to be wearing the white uniform right now.
If you're Coppell, you've got a lot of options, but the main thing you want to do is just keep the ball and the clock moving.
Second down and 8 from the 15. Hand it to Rice, coming outside right. Can't get the corner, but he does pick up minimal yardage. Gets out to the 20 as he's knocked down by Warner and Doddridge. A pair of sophomores on that tackle on the great senior Brandon Rice. It's a gain of 5. So here is a huge play with 6:55 and under to go in the fourth quarter. Dragons down by 3. It is third down for Coppell, and they need 3 yards from their own 20-yard line. Going left to right, that is south to north. Listen to the Dragon fans below making a whole lot of racket. High snap to McBride, tried to hand it off, going to have to eat it now. No, he gets yardage out across the 20 to the 25. It's a first down, as that was a busted play. McBride wanted to hand it off, but nobody was there to.
Yeah, but when he finally decides to run it, he does a good job with the burst and the acceleration to get past the marker. That's 20th first down on the night for this Coppell offense.
Clock running, 6:20 to go fourth quarter. Dragons trailing 24 to 21. They need a stand here, as Coppell, you know, is going to keep it on the ground as they have the double tight end set, and will hand it off to Joe Fex, who'll get a quick 5. Give him 8 yards across the 30 out to the 33. As Joe Fex on a straight handoff just burrowed again for nice yardage as Warner and Barnes combine on the stop.
His balance is incredible. I mean, it's obvious what a talented runner Brandon Rice is. Fex maybe not as heralded, even though he's carried the mail through the first half of the season, but I like the way he runs. That was a play that looked like it was going for nothing, and it's 2nd and 3.
From the 33-yard line. One receiver either side. 2-back set with Fex and Rice. They hand it off to Rice, trying to find the corner right. He gets heavy pressure from the Dragon defense, breaks 2 tackles, gets the corner, and is going to have yardage near the first down, and I think he's got it as he's out of bounds up around the 38 as Warner bumped him out. But there you see the greatness to extend a play by Brandon Rice.
Yeah, I mean, he was being strung out nicely by that Carroll defense, but he found a little sliver and turned a negative play into another Coppell first down.
Boy, Barnes and Buck, pair of juniors, thought they had him, but he got away. First down and 10, give it to Rice. This time he comes right at the 40, and he's knocked out of bounds hard by Barnes at the 42. It's a gain of 4. He goes right into the Dragon bench.
Boy, McFarland had a shot at Rice just as he was handed the ball. Just a hair wide to the side, and that was all Rice needed.
Well, the Dragons know right now they're not going to throw the football. You've got the 25th run of the second half, just 4 passes for Coppell. So as long as they keep Evo locked up on Fink, and they've done it the entire game, they've basically negated him. Fink's a tremendous wideout. Dragons know they just have to stop the run as they hand it to Fex. This time he's hit right at the line of scrimmage and knocked backwards. He got to the 41, so he's actually stopped for a loss of a yard. Joe Fex found the front of the Dragon defense. Seacat, Cantor, and Doddridge all in there.
That was party. Everybody met at the running back.
Now the Dragon fans come to their feet on the near side.
Quick sideline.
Quickly to the sidelines, brought to you by Duff's Famous Wings. Travis?
On that tackle that went out of bounds, Brandon Rice limped off the field, and he is still off the field on this big third down play.
So no Brandon Rice in the backfield. It's just Joe Fex. Third down and 7. 4 of 13 on third down tries, and we get a timeout called. Our referee blows it dead. Did we get perhaps they might have broken the huddle with 12 men. I'm not for certain. The officials are talking about it right now, and there is a timeout called. Okay,
so
help me out here, Travis. Duff's Famous Wings sideline update. Travis, a penalty against the Dragons?
Correct. So the coach came out on the field, and I believe earlier they were warned about that. Not that it was a flag dropping official warning, but they were warned about it. But it came kind of after Coppell had called the timeout. So the timeout was given to Coppell, as well as the flag being thrown on the Carroll coaches for being too far out onto the field.
Wow. Okay. Kind of a critical time to be making that call, Kelly.
That's interjecting yourself into the game a little more than I would think you'd do, but I'm saying nothing beyond that.
So a 3rd and 7.5 becomes a 3rd and 2.5 as they mark it off to the 46-yard line. Now, they went ahead and charged Coppell the timeout, so the Cowboys out of timeouts. The Dragons have their full complement left with 4:44 remaining. So the Dragons have to have a stop here. Again, no Brandon Rice in the backfield. He's out of the game. Joe Fex slides up to the right of the quarterback. McBride, the sophomore. One receiver left, one right. Snap to McBride, hands off Fex straight ahead. He is stopped short of the first down. Stopped at the 46-yard line. The Dragon defense was there to meet him. He ran into a brick wall, and it's going to be 4th down as Buck and Doddridge leading the party. And now Coppell, it looks like
team with a 3-point lead. Punt it, pin Carroll deep. They've had some big plays tonight, but they've had difficulty mounting and maintaining sustained drives.
They're not sitting on the punt team. They're going to go for it. Oh, my heavens.
This is huge.
It could be a skunk punt. We'll see. Out of the shotgun, McBride with a high snap all the way back to the 30-yard line. Now rolling, wants to throw, has a man caught in the 50. It's good for the first down to the Dragon 49. And on a totally busted play, the catch made by Trent Butcher. And that is a huge completion for the Coppell Cowboys.
That is one of the most amazing things I've seen. You have the high snap that you wondered when it was going to come back to bite them. McBride finds the ball, then has the presence of mind to find his receiver Butcher open downfield. Butcher makes a juggling catch. He bobbles it, but pulls it in and gets over the marker. You have to have everything go right on a play like that.
First down and 10. Coppell with Rice back in the game alongside the quarterback as they'll hand it off to him. Really a big run blitz for Carroll, and now Rice trying to win a foot race to the sidelines. Instead, he's going to be escorted out of bounds, and that is huge because it stops the clock as Doddridge, who's been having a heck of a game, the sophomore, runs him out of bounds, and that stops the clock with 3:29 to go here in the quarter. So essentially it just gave the Dragons a timeout, not to mention a loss of 8 on the play.
Well, that was big, and Carroll has not had the good fortune of a lot of big plays on defense tonight, but that's the second half, and that's an interesting strategy when you're trying to kill the clock with 3:29 to go and a 3-point lead.
Well, they could have blown it dead with the stop of forward progress, but they did not. From the 43-yard line, they'll hand it off to Joe Fex, coming right. He's hit immediately by Barrett Buck, and is ridden down across the 45, beg your pardon, out to the 47. Warner was also in there too, so it'll bring up 3rd down, and the Dragons just used a timeout. We'll break with them. 3:19 to go, 4th quarter. Dragons trailing 24-21. 3:19 to go, 4th quarter. It's a barn burner in Coppell, 24-21. The Cowboys on top. Here is a huge play, 3rd and 14 for Coppell from the 47-yard line. They hand it off to Fex. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, and he's dropped. First guy there was Jackson Cantor, and he knocked him partially off his feet. He was finished off a loss of 2. Here comes 4th down, and this time Coppell will have to punt.
And that is the smart play. Like we talked about earlier, put Carroll deep. They've still got 2 of the 3 timeouts, but they've had difficulty driving.
A 12-play, 32-yard drive, and now they're going to have to punt it away as Bernardo Rodriguez, as the clock continuing to roll. Carroll did not burn a timeout, so Carroll's going to have 2 timeouts left when they get the football back, as the punt into the breeze going to go down to little Jordan Humphrey. He takes it at his 25-yard line, 30 yards on the punt, 2:34 to go in the 4th quarter. Dragons going to need a touchdown drive here, trailing 24-21. On 1st down and 10 from the 25. A little handoff, misdirection. Goes Coleman going around the right side to the 30, gets out to the 35-yard line, and Jamison bumps him out. That's a gain of 5 yards, and he stops the clock getting to the boundary. Actually, it's a gain of 10 and a 1st down. I beg your pardon, 10 yards to the 35.
Little trickeration. Carroll shows little Jordan going to the left. He reverses it back across the field to Coleman. He picks his way through that Coppell defense for 10.
2 receivers left, 2 right. Snap to Mason Holmes. Here comes the blitz. He gets rid of it one-on-one. He's got Farrar, but he overthrew him by just a step at the Coppell 30. He was behind the coverage of Jamison. Farrar's been wearing him out, but that had just a little bit too much on it with that breeze from Mason Holmes.
Yeah, very, very close. If Farrar had just one more step, that ball is right there. But he had several steps on Jamison. They really have been picking on him tonight.
Receptions for 170 yards.
Farrar, 3 receptions tonight, 170 yards just on touchdown plays. Overall, 6 catches for 197 yards. 2nd down 10, Carroll from the 35, and they're going to put it in the belly of Jack Johansson, and he's going to get a couple of yards to the 37. Clock running, 2:10, 2:09, and now under. Carroll with 2 timeouts left. It's 24-21, Coppell on top, as the Dragons will be looking at a 3rd part of the yardage here. 2 men left, 2 to the right, 4 across the front. Showing a blitz off the edge does Coppell, and here he comes. Although he's picked up now, and Holmes going to throw over on the right side. Caught. Farrar's got it at the 50-yard line, and he struggles to the sidelines, and he gets out of bounds at the 49. Working on Jamison. That's a pickup of 14. The Dragons move the sticks.
Credit Shamar Coleman. Excellent blitz pickup. Cody Masters coming hard off the edge. Undersized Coleman, 5'10", 180, just wipes him out, giving his quarterback time to complete that 3rd down.
I got a quick sideline.
Quickly to the sidelines, Duff's famous wings. Travis?
Realistically, the Dragons need to get to the 40-yard line to set up about a 58-yard field goal downwind that is within range of Ramage.
He's got a big hammer if they can get it there from the 49-yard line. Here's the snap to Holmes. He has protection, now has to run away. Here comes the race from behind. He gets to the corner. Look at Holmes go. 50, 45, left sideline to the 40, down to the 35, and he's out of bounds at the 34. 15 yards on an unbelievable run by Mason Holmes. He had a defender breathing down his neck, but he just flat ran away from him.
And that's one of the things Mike DeWitt talked about with us earlier in the week that worried him. He notes that Ryan Agnew maybe was more mobile than Mason Holmes, but Holmes is a good runner when he picks his spots. That was an excellent example right there.
Dragons are on the move. 1st and 10 at the Coppell end. Cuts it at the 30. 25 down to the 20. 1st down, Dragons. Shamar Coleman spins his way for a gain of 14 yards. 1:23 remaining in the 4th quarter.
And there it is, kind of running a little east-west, but finding his lane to cut it downfield. Nice run by Coleman. Carroll easily within field goal range, with plenty of time to take shots at the end zone.
Oh, heck yeah, they're going for the win right now. 1st down and 10 from the 20-yard line. 2 men in the backfield either side of Holmes. They'll give it to Lil Jordan. He gets hit right at the line of scrimmage, spins for a yard to the 19. A.J. Johnson on the tackle as we're down under a minute to go. Remember, Carroll has 2 timeouts left as they come right back to the line of scrimmage, 55, 54, and 53. Dragons need to get the play in for the near sidelines. They are in field goal range, no question about it, but let's see how they try to take shots at the end zone here to try to put this one.
Time burn.
Yeah, they certainly are. They're down to 39 seconds, 38. They've got 13 left on the play clock. They've wasted about 30 seconds here as Mason Holmes takes the snap. Here comes the pressure, goes one-on-one for the end zone. It is up, it is incomplete. Over on the sideline, Farrar went up with the coverage of Jamison, who batted that one away, and Farrar goes and gets the football over on the track because that one was almost 6 points.
And that was bracket coverage. You've got Farrar on Jamison, McGill coming over to provide a little bit of help, so it's really double.
26 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Dragons down by 3, but they are in field goal range. 3rd down and 9 from the Coppell 19.
And you can go to the middle of the field because you've got 2 timeouts left.
Absolutely. Holmes looks to the boundary, has the call. Now here's the snap, set up the screen. Humphrey with the catch, breaks a tackle. 20, has blockers to the 15. Stiff arms down to the 10-yard line. They ruled him out of bounds, they say, at the 11 with 17 seconds left. So here, as he stopped 1 yard short of 4th down, is a huge decision from this Carroll.
It's a tough one, but you can see what they're going to do. They're bringing the kicking team out onto the field goal. Ramage from here is just about automatic. Play for overtime. Your defense is starting to get momentum. That's probably the safe, smart call.
Discretion is the better part of valor, and Carroll is going to take timeout with 17 seconds remaining. Well, as much as I'd like to see the Dragons go for the 4th down, go for the jugular, this is the smart thing to do, as Montana Murphy's going to put down the tee at the 18-yard line. This is a 28-yard attempt from Cole Ramage off the left side hash. This is to tie the game. Low snap, ball on the tee. The kick is on the way, and it is good! With 12 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, the Dragons have evened this one up, and folks, I'm telling you, Montana Murphy just saved the day because it wasn't a perfect snap, but he got it on the tee, Kelly, and the Dragons have tied it at 24.
He did perfectly against a special unit that knows how to get its hands on a kick. It's very well done.
Which at one point looked out as suddenly come all the way back and even the score with 12 seconds. And we've off. You would think pretty much overtime is a certainty.
Yeah, the on return, you'll do something to prevent that. Squib it, poop it, whatever.
The last time Carroll played an overtime game, I remember one that almost 10 against last year. I was thinking it would be before that. I was checking, and it was the game on the road, and of course a Union game at 42-40. Those have been the 2 overtime games for the Dragons in recent memory, as that was 100% natural spring water scoring drive, play 60 yards, 2 minutes, 22-28 field goal by Cole Ramage. We are now tied at 24, and the Dragons come out here before the kickoff because one thing they want to make sure of is they do not give Coppell the opportunity to do anything to get in position on the kick. Well, Kelly, we don't have a victor just yet, but if you stopped it right here, I think people would say, wow. You know, we talked about, Kelly, and I don't want to be poetic here for a minute, but we did discuss that if you're looking at it from perspective, that actually games against Coppell and Trinity don't have bearing really for the Dragons other than, you know, rankings and momentum and things like that. Regardless of all games, but it's going to affect their position once all is said. They win all the other district games. They would.
They should be well positioned to do that, but the benefit of playing these tough games when you get to the postseason is apparent. You have stood as
so a Cadillac brings you the off, and it's going to be Pooch from Oldroyd, and it's going to be fair caught at the 22-yard line by Holden Ripley, and Coppell will have that point with 12 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. We are tied at 24. Side and head out to the field, out to the 23, and again, it's the formation for Coppell. They're just going to check it in, and we're going to go to OT. Well, victory formation, kind of like Vietnam was a victory. This is preserve the tie formation. Yep, they're going to go to the knee as McBride takes the snap, and they'll go ahead and wind the clock, and we are going to head for the extra session. Through 4 quarters in Coppell tonight, it's the Cowboys 24, and the Carroll Dragon football continues in a moment. Well, the Dragons won the toss, and they have chosen to play defense. That's what you do. You can see what the other are right here in the extra session. So, Kelly, if you want high drama in a district opener for the Carroll Dragons, you got it.
Well, you got Cowboys and Dragons in some sort of a shootout. This is going to be very exciting.
Well, it's kind of a lull before the storm. You know, there's not a whole lot of energy or excitement that we're hearing right now from, you know, the crowd. They're just kind of settled in saying, all right, this is going to be breathtaking here for the next couple of minutes.
Dragon D on the field first. That gives the offense a chance to see what they've got to match or beat.
Well, Coppell from the 25-yard line hands it to Joe Fex, and on a running play, kind of up the middle, he gets about 4 yards down to the 21. If you are checking in right now, Metro Sports D, the edge of your seat. Give away some spin pizza if you check in on Metro Sports DFW. I know a lot of people listening back in South Lake. Got Dragon Youth football coming up tomorrow, so I know some of the little ones already bunkered in. A 2nd down and 6, handed off Rice, sheds a tackle, coming right, 1st down inside the 20 to the 15. He's got 8 yards to the Dragon 12-yard line. Robert Barnes on the tackle, but that was a nifty run right there by Rice. Again, they want to get him to the corner, and once he gets that acceleration and speed running downhill, he's hard to stop.
Yeah, McFarland had a shot at him as he was hitting the edge, but good use of the hip and the hand by Rice. And again, not showing a lot of ill effects from the broken leg. He's run strong and he's cut decisively tonight. That play's been good for him this evening.
Rice to the left to the quarterback McBride. Fex to the right. High snap, hand down to the 5-yard line. Gain of 7 yards on the play. Barnes on the stop. Werner helping out. 30 carries in the game for Joe Fex for 153 yards.
And this is really not what we expected coming in. The talk was about how much more wide open this Coppell offense is. They're hardly ever under center. They throw the ball. Generally speaking, they've thrown the ball a lot more. But this has looked like the Coppell football we've come to know and love. They've just been pounding it tonight.
2nd down and 3 from the 5-yard line in overtime. Snap it to McBride. Hands it off to Rice, and he gets hit for no gain. Stopped at the 5-yard line by Cantor and Buck. The 52nd rush of the night for Coppell, says Brian Sperry, our statistician, against just 18 passes. They got nothing on that. So here, after Rice gets stopped, if you're Carroll, you'll give up the field goal and have a chance for a touchdown. 24-24 our score in overtime. The snap. McBride fakes the handoff, keeps going straight ahead, dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Coppell! Brady McBride, the sophomore, drew everybody in as he faked the handoff and went ahead 5 yards to the end zone, and it's 30-24 Cowboys.
Play was just beautifully set up. They've gone to both sides on the drive. Fake ball action to Rice, and McBride just bursts through the middle, stretches it over the goal line for the score.
Bernardo Rodriguez out of Josh Fink's hold to try to make it a 7-point game. Kick is up, and it is good. So the first overtime is way. It's now 31-24, and the Dragons will have the football at the 25, and it's very simple, Kelly. They've got to have 7 points, or this one's over, and it's an L.
7 or go home, baby. This is it.
Well, each team, again, if you're not familiar with overtime rules, each team starts from the 25. I guess I should have said this a moment ago, but you get one chance to score. And, of course, for Carroll, now trailing by 7, they've got to put 7 on the board here as they're going to run out of the Wildcat from the 25-yard line, and they snap it to Lil Jordan Humphrey, and he will go straight ahead inside the 25 to the 24, so he got only a yard. So they went to the Wildcat on 1st down as Story and Finglass combined on the stop, poked inside the 20. I think we're going going to call it the 24. So 2nd down and 9, call it. 2 receivers wide to the left, 2 short side right. Holmes at quarterback, takes the snap, has protection, can't find a receiver, floats out to the right, now throws to the sidelines. It is caught. Great job of keeping his feet in bounds with Zach Farrar right at the 20-yard line. Beg your pardon, it was Johansson over there, 10, not 12. I was looking at the numerals. As a great grab by Johansson to stay in bounds. So I beg your pardon. The junior making a great catch there, and it's 3rd down and 4. Remember, the Dragons down by 7. They've got to score a touchdown and an extra point to force the second overtime. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Coleman in the backfield. Alongside the quarterback, Holmes takes the snap. Again, has the 8-yard line is Zach Farrar. And the Dragons have a 1st down and goal to go. After a 10-yard pass, they mark it at the 9-yard line. Again, going to the north end zone at our right. 31-24, Coppell on top. But the Dragons trying to get the equalizer. Now running all the way down the field, Mike DeWitt, the head coach, calls timeout. Each side got 1 timeout in overtime, and Coppell just used its timeout right here.
Of course.
So here we go. The Dragons have Johansson along with Humphrey in the backfield either side of Holmes. 2 receivers to the left. That's the wide side of the field. 1 short side to the right. They're going to hand it to Humphrey, and he will bang inside the 10 down to the 6-yard line. A gain of 3 on the play. Cody Masters and A.J. Johnson.
Actually, it looks like they spotted on the 7, so that's just 2.
Well, they put his knee down. I guess they said at the 7. Initial forward progress negated. So 2nd down and goal to go. Dragons down by a touchdown, down by 7 in OT. They've got to have the points here to force the second overtime.
Hard to throw at the short field. You just don't have as much room to go vertical, and that limits Farrar.
Holmes takes the snap. Here comes the pressure. He ducks away, runs to his right, looking for a man, throws the ball away, and another heads-up play by Mason Holmes to live to see another day. He was almost sacked as Masters was right on his back, but Holmes got rid of it.
That's the one thing you can't do here is take the negative play, and he had the good sense to unload with the pressure coming. So now 3rd and 7, it's getting 10.
Got to have 7 yards in 2 plays. It is unquestionably 4-down territory as Coleman, the lone running back, along with Holmes in the backfield. They've got Farrar and Johansson to the near side. They've got Duhan and Lil Jordan split out to the left. Here's a heavy pressure. They've got to get rid of it, and the pass to the end zone is incomplete. Boy, nobody blocked. The man that was coming through, Eric Luke for the Cowboys, had a bead on Mason Holmes, and he had to throw it away, and that brings up 4th down.
He did. Luke came virtually unblocked, and we haven't seen a lot of him. He's a senior that rotates in at the weak side linebacker spot. Smart kid. He came with a full head of steam, but smart play by Holmes to get rid of it. So here's ball game, 4th and goal.
Carroll's going to call timeout, and Seta uses its stoppage, and that will allow us to catch our breath. Duff's Famous Wings sideline update, Travis Smith.
Before the timeout, Lil Jordan Humphrey had lined up all the way to the outside receiver on the far side, matched up against the freshman McDaniel. Let's see if they try to go to Humphrey in the end zone like they did in that Westlake game on the last play.
They empty the backfield, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. 4th down and game from the 7-yard line. Holmes looks to the near side for the play call. Coppell with 3 across the front may bring a blitz. Here's the snap. Holmes has time, throws for the end zone, and the pass is caught! It's a touchdown! Can't run away from tying it up! It's 31-30.
And boy, Holmes did not have but about a split second to unload that ball. Coppell was coming, and everything looked to be covered. Duhan breaks on kind of a little box route in the end zone and hangs on.
Cole Ramage for the PAT to tie it. It's up, and it is good. Brought to you by County Commissioner Gary Fickus. And we are even after overtime, 31-31. Wow, wow. Carroll's offense trots back out on the field. Humphrey lines up all the way out to the left side in a two-receiver set left, two to the right. Coleman in the backfield alongside Mason Holmes. They're tied at 31. Here comes the second overtime. They're going to the end zone at our right. That's the north end zone in Coppell. Here's the snap to Holmes. He has all kinds of time to throw. He's going to the end zone, floats it up, and the pass so close. The Dragons almost hit that one. They were looking for Lil Jordan.
Well, and a lot of the Carroll fans are looking for a flag. Lil Jordan went down. He got tripped in the end zone.
Well, let's go to Travis Smith with the Duff's Famous Swing sideline update.
It looked like Humphrey was about to haul that in, and the defender just ran up the back on, caught him on the heel, and tripped him right when the football was coming down. And sure enough, you really thought there should have been a flag thrown there.
Wow. Well, let's see if the Dragons can bounce back from that. Could have been up by 6, maybe 7. But now, still tied at 31. Second down and 10 from the 25-yard line. So the Dragons went for the goal right there on that first play. Here's the snap to Holmes. Again, has plenty of time. Rolls out to his left. He tucks it, wants to run. 25-20. Sideline. Oh, what a play by Mason Holmes. It's a Dragon first down. He went over the top of freshman Jonathan McGill, who was coming to drill him. It's a gain of 14. They say he's out of bounds at the 11.
Yeah, he had first down yardage
across the way, Kelly.
Yeah, and that it's a Coppell player. It's a red jersey. We can't tell who it is.
It's Loop, Eric Loop.
And, but at any rate, he already has first down yardage. To avoid the hit, he goes airborne and flips. I've seen porpoises do that. I have never seen 6-foot junior quarterbacks do anything quite like that.
Man, when he tucks it down and decides he's going to go, and remember, he didn't run it all 2 games ago, the league game, right?
No. I think there was maybe one run on a busted play.
Yeah, if that. And then against Abilene, maybe a couple of 3, but I mean, this game, when he says...
We talked about this before. It's the way Greg McElroy used to run. He would look to throw. He would hang in there to the very last minute. But when he decided to tuck it and run, he did a great job picking his spots. You see the same discernment out of Mason Holmes, and that was an excellent example right there.
So Loop is helped down the sideline. Hope he'll be okay. Dragons go to a 2-back set. Tied at 31 in the second overtime. First down and 10 from the 11th. They hand it to Humphrey. Starts right, reverses field left. Foot race with a block to the end zone to the 5. Touchdown! Touchdown, Dragons! Lil Jordan Humphrey with a block from who else? Mason Holmes, and the Dragons are on top 37-31.
You gotta love that kid. He has not had the best night of his career. He had a tough first half. He has been an all-star here in the second half. The overtime period.
From Cole Ramage to try to make it a 7-point game. Murphy, the hole, the kick is up, and it is good. So, in the second overtime, the Dragons score and now lead it 38-31. Folks, are you having fun? Out. We'll see what they can do. 2-back set. It's a zone read as McBride hands it off to Rice. Coming right, gets inside the 25, gets down to the 20. Ball popped free. They ruled him down. The Dragons thought they had the football to end the game, but they ruled him down at the 19-yard line, and that appeared from here to be a good call. Duff's Famous Swing sideline update. Travis had a good look.
Yeah, he had the knee down when Jackson Davis ripped the football free, but good call by the official. But a heads-up play by Jackson Davis, who came back and almost got the strip.
Second down and 4, Coppell from the 19. Dragons leading 38-31. Snap and the fake of the handoff. Quarterback McBride keeps inside the 15, gets down to the 10, and he's tackled at the 8 by Grant McFarland.
The problem with that play, that gives you one fewer guy out there on the perimeter when they send Rice to one side or another. 25 first downs for Coppell.
First down and goal to go from the 8. They've got to have a touchdown and an extra point to send it to a third overtime. Hand it off to Fex. Comes left. Gets hit at the 5. May have made it to the 4. That'll be a gain of about 4 yards as Robert Barnes makes the tackle. Heavyweight football right here. The Dragons up by 7 in double overtime, 38-31. But Coppell 4 yards away from potentially getting another touchdown on the board.
Yeah, we got some big boy football here.
Rice and Fex either side of the quarterback McBride. He'll hand it to Fex. He barrels toward the end zone. He's in for the score. And Joe Fex from 4 yards out, 37.
And boy, that was just no subterfuge whatsoever. Straight handoff into that defensive front. Fex makes one cut and boom, he's in the end zone.
Did they get another timeout in the extra overtime? I guess they do, and they're going to talk about it. I think they're going to decide, Kelly, whether they want to try to end this game on one play.
Well, and that looks like that's the way they were leaning. You saw McBride not moving toward the sideline until timeout was called. And how often have you seen that? You've got the momentum. You've kind of escaped from the jaws of the trap. Let's end this and get out of here. You know, you come up just a little bit short down in Austin. To get the win in overtime here tonight would be huge. We'll see what this defense can do.
Coppell is going to sit 37 Carroll. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion and the win. Rice and Fex, either side of the quarterback McBride. High snap, fakes the handoff, tries to scamper for the corner. He's hit and he's dropped by Barnes, and the game is over. And the Carroll Dragons have escaped with a victory in Coppell as Robert Barnes, the OU commit, came in and got Brady McBride, and the Dragons will win it 38-37. Good night.